Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Konoha. After the skills hang up, I won by lying down. Chapter 61. Master Third Generation. It's not that we don't want to get rid of Moonlight Ryoma, it's that he is too slippery. We played against him 3 times. He slipped away 3 times. Shisui explained. You two can beat him to escape 3 times. Danzo retorted immediately. Because he played against Ryoma the most. He knows best how strong Ryoma is. He didn't believe that Shisui and Itachi beat Ryoma 3 times. It's true that Moonlight Ryoma is very strong, but Itachi and I have already activated Mangekyo, and we can still suppress Ryoma with the cooperation of the 2 of us, Shisui said. Anyway, they have never seen Ryoma's true strength, even if it is Danzo, what they have seen is just the tip of the iceberg of Ryoma. He was talking nonsense, and the 4 of the 3rd generation couldn't tell the difference. Follow Shisui's words. The 4 of them also paid more attention to the matter of Itachi's awakening of Mangekyo. Nah, Itachi has also awakened Mangekyo. 3rd generation exclaimed in a gaffe. Not to mention the other 3. Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura were shocked more than fear. While Danzo was shocked, he let out a grinding sound. The 4 of them looked at each other faintly. They both saw anxiety in each other's eyes. What a troubled time. First there was Moonlight Ryoma, an unstable factor. Then, the Uchiha clan directly appeared with 2 pairs of Mangekyo, and the threat level surpassed Moonlight Ryoma at once. Trouble one after another. The 4 of them are almost numb. But the 4 of them behaved very well, and none of them showed their worries. Yes, Lord 3rd Generation. It seemed that the atmosphere in the office had not changed. Answered truthfully. Double Mangekyo, you can indeed suppress Moonlight Ryoma. 3rd generation nodded and said with a look of gratification. Konoha is in this lean period, it is great to have 2 rising stars, Shisui and Itachi. Tell us about the situation at that time. Hi, Shisui responded, and continued. The first time, we attacked him on the night they wiped out the bandit gang in Hongshi Mountain. At that time, they were placed in an independent yard by the client. I made Itachi blush Sr. and the other 2 girls, and I turned into Izumi to knock on Moonlight Ryoma's door. Moonlight Ryoma, I wasn't wary of me at the time. The moment I opened the door, I stabbed a kunai. However, he reacted quickly and avoided the vitals, and I only hurt his arm. After being stabbed by me, he also kicked me and forced me back a few steps. At that time, I missed the initiative, and he used the body flicker technique to attack me. Fortunately, Itachi arrived in time to defuse the attack for me. At that moment, he seemed to recognize us. Know that we didn't hurt Senior Red and the others. It led us to a small valley. We fought Moonlight Ryoma in that little valley. At that time, I turned on the Susanoo, and Itachi assisted me. The 2 of us should be regarded as rivals. He can't hit us, and we can't hit him with teleportation. Finally, when he was done playing, he just left. The second time. He came to find us on his own initiative, and we don't know how he found us. At the time, we had little vigilance. Moonlight Ryoma secretly played a black hand, Itachi was manipulated by him unknowingly. And attacked me. Fortunately, I reacted quickly, didn't suffer any injuries, and even realized that Itachi was hit by Moonlight Ryoma's magical illusion. Then, I used Mangekyo Sharingan's ability to unlock Itachi's illusion. When Itachi wakes up, he naturally awakens Mangekyo. We were also able to suppress Moonlight Ryoma from that time on. Unfortunately, he is too slippery for us to catch him. The 3rd fight was the next morning. In order to complete the important tasks entrusted by the Lord 3rd Generation and the Elders, Itachi proposed that we tie up the 3 red seniors to threaten Ryoma. At that time, I hesitated for a long time, but agreed to Itachi's proposal. However, we didn't hurt Senior Hong and the others, we just stunned them and took them away. At that time, Ryoma did come. However, we still couldn't keep him. He fought with the 2 of us alone, and then sent a shadow clone to rescue the red seniors and the others. After they escaped, we can no longer catch up with them, and we can't find them, so we can only return to Lord 3rd Generation and the Elders. When Shisui said this, he had another expression that hesitated to speak. I see. The 4 showed a sudden look. Almost everyone believed Shisui's rhetoric. After all, water is not too much of a problem. At most, the battle between the two sides was a bit too child's play. However, they are also understandable. After all, Ryoma's teleportation is really tricky. Without being able to limit his range of movement, it is very difficult to take down Ryoma. Thinking of this, the three of Danzo glanced vaguely at third generation. Third generation coughed a few times and pretended not to see it. Laughing at Shisui. Shisui, I see you are hesitant to speak. If there is anything else you want to say, don't be polite, just say it. Master third generation. Elders, although Moonlight Ryoma is slippery, I still have a way to deal with him. Yi Shui gritted his teeth and said. Since there is a way, why didn't you use it then? Danzo said displeased. This method is related to my Mangekyo Sharingan. After using it once, it takes a long time to recover. Before, I wanted to keep it to resolve the conflict between Uchiha and the village. That's why. When Shisui said this, third generation knew why Shisui said that this trick was useful for Moonlight Ryoma. Shisui's high hopes and ability to resolve conflicts between the family and the village must be extraordinary. Then why do you want to use it now? Danzo asked again. Because Itachi has also awakened Mangekyo, so we have two pairs of Mangekyo Sharingan. As long as we work together, this ability is no longer needed, and we will be able to persuade the family and the village to reconcile. This was something I figured out on the way back, so, at the time, didn't make it in time for Moonshine Ryoma, sorry, explains Shisui. So that's how it is. The four of third generation were stunned. But I said in my heart, when the time comes, your Uchiha's arrogance will probably be even higher. So, Shisui, can you tell us about the ability of your Mangekyo Sharingan? Third generation said with a sincere and kind face. Okay, my Mangekyo ability is called Distinguished Heavenly Gods. It can forcibly distort the will and thoughts of others, Shisui said with a straight face. Third generation and Danzo all secretly gasped. It's a terrifying ability. If the third generation hadn't confirmed that he was manipulated by Ryoma, he couldn't help but think of Shisui as the murderer. This ability is too cruel, and Konoha absolutely cannot allow such an ability to exist. Be it Moonlight Ryoma or Uchiha Shisui, they must all die. In that short moment, Konoha F4 reached a consensus through their eyes. It's a really good skill. Since that's the case, Shisui, I support your decision, let's do it. Third generation said kindly. Hi, Shisui responded, and then hesitated to speak. If you have anything else you want to say, let's say it. Seeing this, third generation had no choice but to continue. Lord third generation, elders, after I use distinguished heavenly gods to control Moonlight Ryoma, can you not kill him? After all, he is also a genius no matter what. If he works hard for Konoha, wouldn't it be a great addition to Konoha? Shisui said. Whether it is third generation, or Danzo, or the other two, they are very familiar with Shisui. His rephrasing is also very in line with his personality. But, how could third generation allow this kind of thing to happen? Just being a Shisui already made him fearful. If you let Shisui control Ryoma again and don't kill him, then he can still sleep. Shisui, to be honest, I don't want to kill Moonlight Ryoma, but he has violated Konoha's laws and broken Konoha's rules many times. If we don't kill him, we can't explain to everyone in Konoha. Persuaded third generation. That's it, Shisui responded with some disappointment. Then he went on to say, alright then, I was the one who said too much, Lord third generation, let's do as you wish. Shisui and Itachi came here for two purposes, first, to dispel the doubts of the four of them, and second, to fish. The bait has been laid. Both of their goals have been achieved, so naturally they don't want to stay here any longer. So he bid farewell to the four of them. After Konoha F4 watched Shisui and Itachi leave. Also started their conversation. Sarutobi, Shisui can't stay. Danzo said impatiently. I believe in Shisui. He is a child with the will of fire. Third generation glanced at Danzo and said quietly. Sarutobi, don't be a hypocrite here, I don't know who you are. If you can hold Shisui, you won't do anything to Moonlight Ryoma. If you don't want to do it, then I'll do it. Danzo said in a deep voice. There was a dark gleam in his eyes. Obviously playing their own calculations. Danzo, shut up, Shisui is an important force for us to deal with Moonlight Ryoma. Before Moonlight Ryoma is dead, You must not mess around, otherwise, I can't spare you. Third generation didn't know what Danzo was thinking. But, he will never allow Danzo to mess around. HMPH. Danzo glanced at third generation, and snorted coldly without answering. And left the Hokage office. Danzo's heart is too wild. Sarutobi, you have to be careful. Kaharu reminded. I know what to do, you two go back first. Third Hokage nodded. Watching the two go out, he called out in a deep voice, come here. Exist. Keep an eye on Danzo, and let me know immediately if there is any trouble. Hi. However, Danzo walked out of the Hokage office building. Immediately, he asked Yamanaka-fang, the little follower who stayed outside the Hokage building, did you see Shisui? I see. Yamanaka-fang nodded. Go, catch up with him, tell him that I have something important to see him, and in an hour, let him meet me at Luifengpo. Remember, I want to see him Uchiha Shisui, don't let him take Itachi. Although Danzo is greedy and evil, he is not stupid at all. If only Shisui was alone. He relied on sneak attacks, and the help of root ninjas, and was a little sure of killing Shisui's. If we let Itachi follow along, the two watch each other. Not to mention him, even if the whole route is used together, it may not be enough for two people to fight. So, Danzo went out of his way to make that clear. Hi, Yamanaka responded, and chased in the direction Shisui and Itachi had just left. Go back to the route and gather some people to ambush near Luifengpo, and listen to my command. Danzo took route again to another of his little followers, Female Oil. Hi, Aburame replied, and disappeared. At this time, Danzo walked towards Shimura's house with a cane like an outsider. Just as third Hokage had him. He also knows about third generation. He knew that some of his previous actions had already attracted the attention of the third generation. Next, third generation will definitely send someone to stare at him. Therefore, he needs to stage a scene of Mingsho Plank Road and secretly crossing Shinkang. As for the third generation's warning, it doesn't matter if he listens to the third generation's face. If you don't give him face, it will be a deaf ear. An old friend for decades, what else can third generation do to him? As the saying goes, the bigger the storm, the more expensive the fish. Compared with the benefits he obtained in the following actions, even after the fact, third generation will find him to settle accounts. It doesn't matter to him either. After Danzo returned to Shimura's house, I have been drinking tea in the courtyard. In order to appear more harmonious, he also called a few nephews and nieces to drink with him and talk with him while drinking tea. Those Anbu ninjas watching this scene, were secretly surprised that Danzo still had such a human side. At the same time, he was relieved. As long as Danzo stays out of the way, everyone can live in harmony. Hello, everyone. At the same time, the other side, Yamanaka catches up with Shisui and Itachi. It blocked the way of the two of them. You are Danzo-sama's guard. Shisui has seen K's Yamanaka more than once, and still has a deep impression on him. Master Danzo wants to see you. Yamanaka-fung ignored Shisui's Itachi and said in a cold voice. Now, Shisui frowned. In an hour, Luifengpo. Yamanaka-fung said. I see. Shisui responded with a nod. Remember, Master Danzo wants to see you, don't bring irrelevant people with you. Said, Yamanaka-fung glanced at Itachi intentionally or unintentionally. I'm also Anbu's ninja, I have a sense of proportion in this kind of thing. Shisui responded with a nod. After K's Yamanaka got the answer he wanted, he disappeared in front of the two of them. Let's go, while we still have time, let's try the three-color meatballs and anko soup. Shisui said to Itachi. Alright, Itachi nodded. Time passed bit by bit. Shisui and Itachi ate meatballs and drank anko soup, and finally parted. Itachi returned to the Uchiha home. Shisui went to the appointment alone. On the other side, at Shimura's house, Danzo is still drinking tea with some nephews and nieces. In an hour, except for leaving a few times, he didn't show any strange behavior at all. Anbu's ninja didn't notice anything was wrong either. After all, drink tea. If you know everything, you will have to drink it for at least a few hours. Little did they know that Shimura Danzo had already been dropped. The real village chronicle Danzo has already walked out of Shimura's house through the secret passage, and went to Luifengpo early. An hour later, Shisui was on time for the appointment. However, before getting close to Danzo, he was stopped by the ninja at the route. Shisui glanced at the route ninja who stopped him, and then looked again. With a cane in one hand, he sat on the Taishi chair, closing his eyes and meditating on Danzo. He opened his mouth and shouted, "Master Danzo, Shisui is here for the appointment." "Here we come." Hearing Shisui's cry, Danzo finally opened his eyes, and a ray of light flashed past. Then, he waved his hand, signaled the root ninja, and let Shisui go. "What is Danzo-sama looking for me for?" Shisui asked. "You said earlier that you were going to use distinguished heavenly gods to control Moonlight Ryoma. Let him serve Konoha." Danzo stood up from his chair while talking, and walked slowly towards Shisui. "Of course I did say that, but wasn't it rejected by Lord Third Generation? Why did Lord Danzo bring this up again?" Shisui puzzled. "Actually, my thoughts are the same as yours. I think it is far more in Konoha's interest to control Moonlight Ryoma and work for Konoha than to kill him directly." "But," Danzo said. There was a pause. "But what?" Shisui looked at Danzo curiously. "However, if such a character is controlled by you, it's not very reassuring. Let me leave it to the old man." As he spoke, Danzo suddenly accelerated and rushed towards Shisui. "Shisui, your Sharingan is mine." Danzo's hand was within 20 centimeters of Shisui's eyes. The body stopped suddenly. It turned out that Shisui directly used the illusion Sharingan to control Danzo at the moment Danzo charged. "Master Danzo, you are too impatient. You should get closer before it's too late," Shisui said in a cold voice. "In that case, your success rate may increase by -200 points." However, at this moment, Danzo, who was possessed of illusion, suddenly became unreal. I saw Danzo's illusory figure, his shots were like lightning, and he went straight to Shisui's Sharingan. At this moment, Shisui was not hit by Danzo like in the original work, and at the moment of Danzo's shot, he also took a few steps back at the same time. Escaped from Danzo's hands. "Danzo-sama, you just used the Sharingan ability of my Uchiha clan, Izanagi. Lord Danzo, shouldn't you give me an explanation? Give me the Uchiha clan an explanation." Shisui's tone turned cold in an instant. I, Shimura Danzo, have acted all my life, and I also need to explain to you, a brat." Danzo snorted coldly. Seeing that the sneak attack failed, he directly ordered the root ninjas to besiege together. "Everyone go up together, kill him for me. Sasu can call." In an instant, Shisui performed the ultimate secret of Mangekyo Sharingan. A green chakra giant suddenly appeared, holding a spiral sword, and slashed towards Danzo mercilessly. "Go to hell, Danzo." Shisui's blow was as fast as lightning and as powerful as a shooting star. "Hardly. Danzo is within range of Shisui's attack. If you want to hide, you can't hide. Can only be hardwired." I saw that Danzo quickly raised the crutch in his hand and went up one. Boom. The moment the two meet, the crutch in Danzo's hand shattered on the spot. His arm was smashed to pieces on the spot. He flew out like a cannonball, spitting out blood, and sprayed out a beautiful arc. Unfortunately, Ryoma is not here. Otherwise, he must be laughing. Danzo's mysterious operation, sometimes, is really easy to laugh at. In the original, he stabbed Susan with kunai. Now use crutches to block Susano's spiral sword. I don't know what he thinks. Master Danzo. The ninja at the root watched as Danzo was swept away by the blow. Can't help worrying about Danzo. Even Shisui couldn't care less. As a result, Shisui successfully jumped out of the encirclement of root ninjas. Although Suzuo is strong, but being besieged by so many ninjas, he is still easily blown up. It is undoubtedly much safer to jump out of the encirclement. What are you guys doing? Kill Shisui. Danzo was hit by Shisui. Although he was seriously injured, he did not die. He is still thinking about Shisui's Wanwatong Sharingan. Looking at the ninja at the root, Shisui jumped out of the encirclement because of his injury, almost dying of anger. Kill. Aburame snorted coldly. The surrounding root ninjas were organized by him again, and they went to kill Shisui together. There are too many ninjas of roots. Although, each of them can't compare to the water. However, when dozens of people rushed forward, he would inevitably become flustered when dealing with it. Therefore, Shisui did not choose to fight hard with them. Instead, he adopted the style of flying a kite. while running away, while fighting back. At first, the rooted ninja didn't think the water was going to run away. He chased after Shisui like a mad dog, and even slandered his companions in order to snipe Shisui. But as time goes by little, the number of people chasing him at the root is getting smaller and smaller. At this time, Shisui did not run away, but attacked them instead. At this time, no matter how stupid the root ninja was, he realized that something was wrong. No, we were fooled. Withdraw quickly. Withdraw, have you withdrawn? Shisui snorted coldly. Susano-99. Under Shisui's manipulation. On the chest of the green chakra giant appeared a huge red goblin. The red hook jade has the effect of condensing and forming sharp arrows. For a time, countless chakra sharp arrows shot out from the chest of the chakra giant. Like a pear blossom in a rainstorm. Shoot towards the ninja cover at the root. Puff puff. Root ninjas were shot one by one. There are still many who are not dead or who want to escape, but Shisui swung the spiral sword to make up for it. Shisui fought and completely wiped out all the root ninjas chasing him. After that, without the slightest hesitation, he rushed all the way back towards Luifengpo. Luifengpo. Aburame took the route. Except for organizing root ninjas to chase and kill Shisui at the beginning, he has always been in the wind with Yamanaka, and there are several root ninjas guarding Danzo. A root ninja who knows medical jutsu gives Danzo a simple cure. Aburame took the root and Yamanaka Fung immediately stepped forward and asked. Master Danzo, are you okay? I can't die yet, Danzo said in a bad mood. With his IQ, it is not difficult to guess that Shisui, the cooked duck, might fly away. It was difficult for the dozens of root ninjas he sent to catch up with Shisui, and even if they did catch up, it would be even more difficult to keep him. Master Danzo, don't be so disappointed, even if you can't win Uchiha Shisui this time, you will definitely be able to win next time. Yamanaka Fung comforted Danzo. Danzo glanced at Yamanaka Fung and was about to speak. A tall green chakra giant appeared in his sight again. Master Danzo, I'm back, Shisui yelled loudly as he walked towards the Gundam. Danzo looked at Shisui at this moment and had a bad premonition in his heart. Shisui, what are you doing? Danzo asked sternly. I'm here to see you off, Master Danzo. Shisui laughed. Presumptuous. Master Danzo is the assistant of Hokage. You dare to say such outrageous words, do you want to rebel? Yamanaka shouted sharply. What are you? You deserve to say such things to me. Shisui shouted violently, swung the spiral sword in his hand and slashed towards Yamanaka. Boom. Under one blow. The earth couldn't bear the impact of this force at all, and instantly shattered. Yamanaka Fung was killed on the spot. But Aburame Takang and Danzo were all near the Yamanaka wind, affected by the violent energy, they were rushed several meters away. Danzo, die to me. Shisui swung the high-speed rotating spiral sword again, without any mercy, and slammed down towards Danzo. Just at this critical moment, a shout came from afar. Stop. The spiral sword in the green giant Susan's hand paused slightly, and finally, it slashed down. Boom. Danzo, who was already seriously injured, was directly smashed into the crack in the ground by Shisui's blow. I don't know if I live or die. I said stop, didn't you hear? Shisui. It was the third generation who arrived late with a group of Anbu ninjas. At this time, he was no longer as kind and gentle as before. The face so gloomy as ultimate, and the tone of anger, made Shisui understand that the old man in front of him really loved him. Master third generation, all this was provoked by Danzo, I just had no choice but to fight back. Shisui said calmly. I know that Danzo provoked this matter first, but I already told you to stop, why didn't you stop? Third generation looked sullenly at Shisui. He felt that he seemed to be playing off this time. Shisui was not as submissive as before. Why is this so? Could it be? A terrible idea popped up in his mind in an instant. However, he didn't dare to think deeply. At that time, I was angry, so I was a little impulsive. Shisui said. Impulse. Third generation laughed angrily. Master third generation, Master Danzo is still alive. At this time, the Anbu ninja who went to check the condition of Danzo and the root ninja suddenly yelled. Bring him up. Third generation let go of Shisui for the time being, and said to the Anbu ninja not far away, Chen Nuos. Hi. Then, several people brought Danzo up from the crack. put it on a stretcher and carried it to third generation. Third generation looked at Danzo's miserable appearance, hated Danzo for being weak, and was also full of anger at Shisui. Danzo, but his old partner for many years, he is not willing to beat Danzo like this. Shisui did it. This clearly did not take Sarutobi Hiruzen seriously. Sarutobi, you misread the person. Uchiha Shisui is not the kind of person you said. He has evil intentions, killed a lot of my subordinates, and wants to kill me. Danzo only said a few words to third generation. The third generation couldn't hold back immediately. Uchiha Shisui, I am now taking you down on charges of murdering high-level officials and massacring many ninjas from the same village. Come on man, give me Will Uchiha underwater. With the order of third generation, all Anbu ninjas quickly surrounded Shisui. Shisui, give up resistance, and grab it quickly. Shisui, don't make the same mistake again and again. These Anbu ninjas belong to the same Anbu as Shisui. Maybe not much friendship, but the Anbu people don't fight the Anbu people. If Shisui can be persuaded by words to be obedient and let him go, that would be great. I'm right. Wrong Danzo. Why do you insist on accusing me? Lord third generation, I don't accept it. Shisui glared at third generation angrily. Third generation didn't respond, but just winked at Anbu next to him. Shisui, the matter has not been investigated clearly. For the sake of the overall situation, I can only wrong you first. Afterwards, when Lord third generation investigates the cause of the matter, he will give you a justice. This Anbu ninja belongs to the Sarutobi clan. He is not only a die-hard Sarutobi Hiruzen loyalist, but also has a clever mind. Instantly understood what Sarutobi meant. Soothing Shisui said. If the matter is not investigated clearly, can you just convict me? Shisui said even more angrily. Danzo-sama is Hokage Kujizuke, Konoha's high-ranking officer, it's a fact that you committed the crime. The Anbu ninja from Sarutobi's house said in a deep voice. Catch it. I don't. Shisui yelled angrily. Gimme it. Regarding Shisui's stubborn resistance, the Anbu ninja from Sarutobi's house didn't say anything more, and directly chose to do it. At this time, a shout came from a distance. Just like the previous third generation. Stop. Who dares to touch my Uchiha family members? Is Uchiha Fugaku came with a group of Uchiha family ninjas. Seeing this scene, third generation's heart sank suddenly. This is troublesome. Other Anbu ninjas looked at the Uchiha family ninjas coming from a distance, and their scalps couldn't help but tingle. This situation, if one is not good, it may cause a fight between the two sides. At that time, the trouble will be big. Anbu ninjas, you look at me, I look at you, hesitant, afraid to do it. Stop. Seeing this, the Anbu ninja of Sarutobi's family only gave the order to do it. Time for a few breaths. Fugaku took the ninjas of the Uchiha family and inserted them into the lineup of Anbu ninjas. You have me, I have you. Fugaku walked up to third generation. Confront the third generation. For a while, neither of them spoke. Just quietly looking at each other. Third generation looked at the more presumptuous Fugaku in front of him, and felt more and more annoyed. Changed. Uchi Fugaku's attitude changed. Before, Fugaku would not have dared to look at him like this. Now, he has done so. Who gave him such courage? Is it Shisui and Itachi? How long has he known? Itachi took the initiative to sue CJBA him. It seems that this should be the case. Itachi, the fool has just awakened Mangekyo, he backstabs the old man, and like Shisui, he is an unfamiliar white-eyed wolf. Danzo is right. The Uchiha family is really not trustworthy. If I knew this, I should have let Danzo destroy the Uchiha family directly. The more third generation thought about it, the more annoyed he became. Yes, at this moment, he regretted it. Regret trying to win over the Uchiha family. Uchiha is an inherently evil family. There is no loyalty whatsoever. Master third generation, shouldn't you give me an explanation? After a round of confrontation, Fugaku asked first. What explanation do you want? Third generation's eyes twitched, trying hard to suppress the anger in his heart. Okay, since you don't want to say anything, then, I'll take Shisui back. Fugaku said, and waved at the Uchiha clan. Uchiha's ninjas protect Shisui and are about to break out from Anbu's encirclement. Slow. The third generation watched this scene, and couldn't help it for a moment. Shisui tried to kill the village's top management, and at the same time beheaded many ninjas in the same village. I need to get him under investigation. Fugaku, you can't take him away just yet. Danzo attacked me first. He wanted to take my Sharingan. I didn't want him to take my Sharingan, so I was forced to fight back. This is a positive defense. Shisui retorted. Master third generation, did you hear? Shisui is the victim. The fool Danzo, in broad daylight, actually wants to rob the Sharingan of our Uchiha clan. How arrogant. He has to give us Uchiha an answer. Otherwise, we Uchiha will never give up. Hearing Shisui's words, Fugaku became even more domineering instantly. This is just Shisui's family saying, what I saw, is that Shisui was beating Danzo and almost killed Danzo. I didn't see him lose his eyes. Third generation said in a deep voice. HMPH, I believe Shisui won't lie to us with these things. Fugaku said coldly. Fugaku, do you really want to shield Shisui? Third generation's eyes gradually turned cold, and there was a hint of threat in his tone. If it was before, maybe Fugaku will be cowardly. Even if he wanted to cover up Shisui, he didn't dare to attack third generation directly. But, it's different now. Because Itachi had told him just now that both he and Shisui had opened Mangekyo. And, they all now support his coup. Shisui and Itachi plus him, the Uchiha family has a triple pair of Mangekyo at once. He shook completely. Truly a third generation. What kind of cover-up? Shisui is not guilty at all, but Danzo, he coveted the Sharingan of our Uchiha family, and he did it directly. He committed such a felony. Third generation, you should hand over Danzo to our police force. Fugaku sneered. As third generation and Fugaku are constantly feuding. The smell of gunpowder is getting stronger and stronger. At this time, if someone adds another fire, I am afraid that the two sides will directly fight. However, under such circumstances, third generation chose to retreat. About this matter, I will let Anbu investigate clearly, and I will not bother you with the police force. If Danzo really made a mistake, I will let him give an explanation to the Uchiha family, but if Danzo is wronged, Shisui must also give an explanation to everyone in Konoha. Third generation said in a cold voice, and asked someone to carry Danzo away. Fugaku didn't let anyone stop him either, allowing third generation to take people away. The people of the Uchiha clan watched the third generation leave in ashes. Everyone felt a burst of elation. I have been aggrieved for so long, and today I can finally let out a sigh of relief. The patriarch did a good job today. Long live the patriarch. Uchiha's ninja cheered as if they had won a battle. Shisui looked at this scene, smiled faintly, retracted Susanoo, suddenly his eyes went dark, and he almost fell to the ground. Itachi quickly supported him. Shisui, are you all right? I'm fine, just a little dizzy. Shisui shook his head. Fugaku knows best about the side effects of Mangekyo Sharingan. After hearing Shisui's words, he walked up to Shisui and said, you are overusing Mangekyo Sharingan. It's nothing serious in the future, don't use Mangekyo casually, otherwise, your eyes will go blind. Shisui shook his head and said to Fugaku, Patriarch, did Itachi tell you about it? Speaking of which, I haven't made up my mind whether to do it or not. Fugaku hesitated. Patriarch, let's go all out, let's go down again, and go 3 times. We have to solve this problem as soon as possible before our 3 Sharingan have any problems, otherwise, there may be some changes in the future. Shisui said in a deep voice. This, we'll talk about it later. Fugaku said. After the Uchiha clan left, a strange man with green hair and skin color like white paper emerged from a patch of grass. Look left, look right. His face was full of doubts. How strange. The conflict between Uchiha's family and Konoha is because of Uchiha Shisui. Wasn't this guy from Konoha's senior management before? Why did you turn your back on you all of a sudden? Alas, I really don't understand them, these human beings. Forget it, go back and report to Madara first. Talking. White Zetsu sank into the grass again. Hokage office. Is it really irreparable? Sarutobi. You detained Koharu and Mitokado Homura rushed to the hospital to visit Danzo immediately after the accident, and then returned to the Hokage office with third generation. At this moment, the two looked worried. First, Moonlight Ryoma's matter can still be resolved. Now even Shisui and Itachi are rebelling. One thing after another went beyond their control. The two elderly people in their 60s were overwhelmed and began to feel physically and mentally exhausted. Third generation leaned back on the chair with a tired face. It's irreversible, third generation said powerlessly. I warned you before, be careful with Danzo, why did you let him make things like this? Udatane Kaharu blamed. I have already made the deployment, but Danzo, this guy, played a trick with me to build the plank road and cross the old warehouse secretly. When I find something is wrong, he's totally screwed things up. Seriously, he'd tear Danzo off right now if he could. This guy is really not enough for success, but more than failure. You can't blame Danzo for this matter. Shisui and Itachi have been a little weird since they came back from this mission. I suspect that after Itachi awakened Mangekyo, they already had the idea of rebellion. Danzo's attack on Shisui just speeds up their rebellion, said Mitokado Homura. Yan's thoughts coincide with mine. Fugaku has always been respectful to me before. But, this time, he dared to confront me tit for tat, and didn't back down even a single step. It must be Itachi who went back, said something to him, and then completely stood by his side. Otherwise, Fugaku would never dare to be so presumptuous. Third generation recalled this incident. His face became extremely gloomy. It's useless to say these things now. The Uchiha family has completely broken with us this time, and may launch a coup at any time. We must have countermeasures, otherwise, the consequences will be disastrous. Sarutobi, have you thought about how to deal with this matter? Udatane Kaharu asked. I've sent for Jiraiya and Tsunade. Jiraiya has been in contact with me, he is easy to find, and he will be back in 2 days at the earliest. As for Tsunade, I am not sure if she will come back, but even if I can persuade her to come back, I am afraid it will be at least a week later matter. These are distant water, which cannot save near fire for the time being. Therefore, in addition to mobilizing the ninjas in the village to prepare for the battle, we also need to draw all the families to fight against Uchiha. Third generation said in a deep voice. After hearing this, the two consultants nodded silently. Third generation is Hokage. What they can think of, third generation has already thought of it, and has even begun to deploy it. However, Mitokado Homura still made a comment. Have you considered bringing Moonlight Ryoma over to fight the Uchiha family? Moonlight Ryoma. Third generation frowned. He really didn't think of using Moonlight Ryoma to deal with Uchiha before. Now that I heard Mitokado Homura's words, I suddenly felt enlightened. That's right, he hated Moonlight Ryoma, and even made no secret of his killing intent towards him. However, Yugong Ryoma may not know these things. His assassins were also Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi. What does it have to do with his third Hokage? Now, he and Uchiha have completely turned against each other. Ryoma, Shisui, and Itachi also have enemies, and Uchiha is their common enemy. In order to deal with the common enemy, they first let go of their prejudices and unanimously speak out, so there is nothing wrong with it. Although I don't know if it will work, but I can give it a try. Third generation nodded and said, by the way, are they back? I don't know. The two consultants shook their heads. They are just consultants, and they don't have many soldiers. How could they know about this kind of thing every day? Third generation couldn't help but patted his forehead when he heard the words of the two advisors. Secretly thought, it's Danzo's fault, it made me start to mess up. Come here, exist. Go and see if Moonlight Ryoma is back. Hi. A few minutes later, Anbu Ninja, who was running errands, returned. Master third generation, Moonlight Ryoma hasn't returned yet. Go, arrange Moonlight Hayate and Azuki Shion into the vanguard team, and if there is any disturbance in Uchiha, just let them be the leader. For a time, Konoha undercurrent surged. The parties frequently meet in secret meetings. There is a sense of calm before the storm. However, ordinary people did not notice anything wrong. Still as usual, twilight, outside the Konoha gate. Finally back. Quan looked at the gate from a distance, and Oxy shouted loudly. The first class finally arrived before the sun went down. Looking at this familiar gate, not to mention Quan, even Ali and even Ryoma, there is a feeling of not seeing each other every day. I haven't seen you for a few days, I don't know if my sister misses me. Thinking, Ryoma said to the three girls. After a day's driving, I'm a little hungry, let's eat first, and after the meal, let's go back to Hakka. Okay. Ali and Quan agreed with no objection. Then I'll go to the mission hall to hand over the mission first, and then meet you. Hong said. Let's go to the restaurant where you invited us to eat barbecue. Ryoma said with a faint smile. You can just say Akamaiki Yakiniku restaurant. Stop talking about treats, I can't afford to invite you. The corners of her red lips twitched, and she couldn't help but think of the feeling of being slaughtered. Although it had been almost 2 weeks, she still couldn't forget it. Hi. Subsequently, the four separated. Hong rushed towards the Hokage building. The three of Ryoma walked towards the barbecue shop. Along the way, seemingly business as usual, but, not to mention Ryoma, even Ali felt that the atmosphere in the village was a bit strange. Ryoma, you can feel it too. Ali said a little nonchalantly. Yeah, Ryoma nodded. The calm before the storm. He is the brewer of this storm. Before the protagonist came on stage, the storm could only continue to brew. Only when he appears on the stage will this storm truly break out. What are you two talking about? Why can't I understand a single word? Quan looked at the two of them in a daze. Ignorance is bliss, you better not know. Ryoma said with a faint smile. Can't you explain it? Quan curled his lips. Want to know? Ryoma looked at Izumi, playing with taste. Of course. Quan Shaoji nodded like pecking rice. You Uchihas are going to war with the village. Nani? Quan and Ali were both startled. Sigh. Ryoma, you're kidding me, right? Izumi's voice trembled, and he couldn't believe what Ryoma said was true. Although, the Uchiha did not have a good relationship with the village. But, it's not enough to go to war. Moreover, in recent years, there are many peace-loving people in the Uchiha clan who are running for the family and the village. For example, Shisui, Itachi, etc. It was fine before. She just went out for a trip. How did the family and the village come to this point just after she came back? Ali was also a little unbelievable. After all, the village is so strong, although Uchiha is not weak, but compared with the village, it is still a lot worse. If it is done hard, the one who will be wiped out in the end can only be Uchiha. She didn't believe it. No one in Uchiha saw this. However, the story came from Ryoma, so she had to start thinking about whether it was true or not. Whether it's true or not, you'll know soon. Let's go, we're going to eat, and when we're full, we'll have the strength to participate in this battle, won't we? Ryoma smiled lightly. Ryoma, you also want to participate in the battle. Then you help which side? Izumi looked at Ryoma eagerly. She knows how strong Ryoma is. Uchiha may have a lot of geniuses, and there are also a lot of strong people, but the sum of those people is probably not enough for Ryoma to push alone. If Ryoma chooses to help the village, then the Uchiha clan will surely be doomed. If the Uchiha clan is defeated, there will be no eggs in the nest. She, Uchiha Izumi, will definitely not escape the fate of being killed. Why do you have to join one of them? Ryoma glanced at Quan and smiled slightly. You want to prevent them from going to war. Quan's eyes lit up. If that's the case, that's really great. With your strength, Ryoma, you can definitely prevent the two sides from going to war. I didn't say stop them from fighting. Ryoma shook his head and smiled. Then what do you mean? Izumi looked at Ryoma anxiously and asked. I'm here to quell the civil war. Ryoma said. Isn't that the same as stopping them from going to war? Quan blinked and said. The conflict between Uchiha and the village is almost irresolvable. I'm not going to stop them from fighting, I'm going to wait until they're done fighting. Go back to quell the war. Now, see what I mean? Spring. Ryoma said lightly. If this is the case, many people will die by then. Quan said a little bit unbearably. Third generation often said that where the leaves dance, the fire is also alive. However, the big tree Konoha itself has decayed. At this time, it needs a raging fire to burn itself to be reborn. Ryoma said lightly. However, don't worry, there is someone you care about on the battlefield, you can tell me, I will save him. Quan wanted to say something else. Ryoma put a hand on her head. Don't think so much, go eat first. Barbecue shop. When Hong arrived, Ryoma and Ali were eating a big piece. Quan is a little godless. What's wrong with Quan? Hong asked curiously when she saw this scene as soon as she came in. Now she's thinking about the matter between Konoha and Uchiha, and she's not in the mood to eat. Ali said. You already know. Hong frowned. When I entered the village, I already felt that the atmosphere in the village was a bit strange, but I didn't know what was going on at the time. Ryoma said, Uchiha and the village are going to war. Ali said. Why are you so clear? Hong looked at Ryoma. Now Konoha probably has nothing to hide from me. Ryoma said lightly. Teacher Hong, how do you know this? Ali asked curiously. Third generation has mobilized all ninjas in the village to prepare for war. I was told when I went to the mission hall to hand over the mission, and I was recruited into the team at the same time. After eating, I will go to report. Hong said helplessly. That's it, eat a little more, otherwise, you won't have the energy to kill the enemy. Ryoma said. It might not be possible to fight yet, so don't say such unlucky words, okay? Hongbai gave Ryoma a look. No way, today is a suitable day for war. Ryoma said with a faint smile. Izumi, what about you? You are a member of the Uchiha clan, born to stand on Uchiha's side. Do you want to participate in this battle? If you also participate, by then, you will become enemies with Teacher Hong. Ali said while eating roasted pork belly. I don't know, what should I do? Quan shook his head in distress. If you don't know what to do, just stay with me. I will help you decide everything. Ryoma said. Izumi glanced at Ryoma and nodded. At the same time, Nanga Shrine, the Uchiha clan held a clan meeting. Everyone must know what happened today. Danzo invites Shisui to meet at Luofengpo. As a result, as soon as they meet, Danzo wants to take Shisui's Sharingan. Shisui was forced to resist, but in the process of resisting, he hit a little harder and injured Danzo. As a result, third generation indiscriminately wanted to take down Shisui. If I hadn't arrived in time, Shisui would have been imprisoned in Anbu's prison by now. I don't know what it's like to be tortured by those people. In the past, for the sake of the overall situation, I always advised everyone to be patient. But, what is our forbearance in exchange for? It is the pressing of the top. In broad daylight, you dare to attack our clansmen. Fugaku colors his words with emotion. Instantly aroused the common hatred of countless Uchiha people. It's too much. Konoha and these high-level officials are really too much. We have been suppressed by them in every possible way these years, and they don't think it is enough. Now, they are blatantly robbing the eyes of our Uchiha clan. If things continue like this, sooner or later our Uchiha clan will be bullied to death by the group of bird people in the village. Patriarch, let's turn against each other. I don't want to suffer such birdishness. Inverted. Fugaku's words, like a fuse, instantly ignited the anger of most of the Uchiha clan. These years, they have been bullied too much by the village's high-level officials. They were already dissatisfied with the village. Now, the village is doing this kind of thing again. It's completely challenging the bottom line of their Uchiha family. They can still stand it. All of them started to howl angrily. At this time, Fugaku raised his hand, suppressing the voices of his clansmen. He said again, it seems that everyone thinks the same as me. They have reached the limit of their patience with the village's domineering behavior. Since the higher-ups in the village don't regard us Uchiha as their own, they want to put us Uchiha to death. Then we don't have to be polite to the high-level leaders headed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Tonight, we will launch a coup against the village. Is it too hasty to start a coup tonight? That's right, Patriarch, no matter what, you have to make a detailed plan, and it's never too late to act. As soon as Fugaku's words fell, the whole shrine was in an uproar. I feel that this is too hasty, too hasty. They were not even prepared. Soldiers are precious and fast, everyone, we are not ready. Are the high-level leaders headed by Fei Hiruzen ready? Now that we have broken our face with them, we should stop procrastinating and kill them decisively. Otherwise, when we are ready, then they are probably ready too. At that time, what we have to face is not only the enemies we have to face today, I am afraid, but also Jiraiya, Tsunade and others who have returned from outside. In this way, our chances of winning, there are many workers. The Patriarch is right, since he decided to launch a coup, it must be done quickly, so fast that Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't even have time to prepare. After all, Konoha is much bigger than our Uchiha. The longer it is delayed, the more unfavorable it will be for us Uchiha. Shisui stood up and said at this time. Today, we have 3 pairs of Mangekyo Sharingan, and the village has only one cage-level strongman, Sarutobi Hiruzen. In terms of high-end combat power, our Uchiha clan is stronger than the village. If you wait until Jiraiya, Tsunade and others come back, then our only advantage is gone. At that time, the only result of launching a coup will be complete suppression. Itachi also continued at this time. After hearing the words of Fugaku, Shisui and Itachi, the Uchiha tribe fell silent for a while. Thinking about it carefully, it seems to be true as they said. Therefore, members of the Uchiha clan did not hesitate any longer, and rose up one by one. Done. The war is imminent. The 4 of Ryoma were still eating barbecue leisurely. Here, try this snowflake beef. Ryoma put a roasted beef on Izumi's bowl. Ali watched, but didn't say anything. He even took a piece of roasted mutton and put it in Kwan's bowl. Kwan, come and taste this mutton too. Kwan glanced at Ryoma and Ali. I felt relieved for a while. With them here, no matter what major event will happen next, she will not face it alone. It feels so good to have a partner. At this moment, in Kwan's mind, partners like Ryoma and Ali are obviously more close and trustworthy than those of the Uchiha family. Ryoma, if Uchiha really goes to war with the village, help me rescue my mother first. Izumi said to Ryoma. In Uchiha as a whole, there are not many people who really make Kwan cry. However, her mother, her only relative, she would never let her go, let alone leave her in a dangerous place. Good, Ryoma said with a nod. At this time, a ninja dressed as Anbu appeared in the private room of the 4 of them. You are. The movement of the red hand paused slightly. She thought the Anbu ninja was coming for her. As a result, the Anbu ninja didn't even look at her, and stared at Ryoma directly and said, Moonlight Ryoma, 3rd generation needs you for something, please come with me. When Hong went to the mission hall to hand over the mission, the 3rd generation already knew that Ryoma was back. This is also the reason why Hong can still come out to have dinner with the 3 of Ryoma after handing over the task. If it wasn't for 3rd generation, he heard Hong say that after she handed over the task, she would have dinner with Ryoma and the others. He also wanted people to follow Hong to find Ryoma. The battle sequence is on. 3 generations looking for me. Ryoma smiled playfully. Uchiha suddenly broke face with the village. Hiruzen was caught off guard by Sarutobi. At this time, Uchiha's high-end combat power is obviously higher than that of the village. Sarutobi Hiruzen is desperate to go to the doctor, trying to win him over to deal with Uchiha. Ryoma thought of many things at once. However, he did not refuse Sarutobi Hiruzen's invitation. In that case, I will go with you. Ryoma said. I'll go with you, said Red. Mr. Hong, don't go, stay here and continue eating. Ryoma said to Hong. Immediately in the eyes of that Anbu ninja, Ryoma has stood up and followed him to the Hokage floor to meet the 3rd generation. Barbecue shop. What's going on here? Hong, Ali, and Kwan watched this scene, their eyes widened involuntarily. In their eyes, Ryoma never stood up. Why did that Anbu ninja suddenly leave? I hypnosis him, and in his eyes, I'm already out with him. Ryoma said. You don't need to play with him like that. When he goes back, he will definitely be punished by the 3rd generation. Hong said. It's not counting playing him, I will send an avatar to follow. Ryoma said with a faint smile. You are too perfunctory, Hong said speechlessly. You should know how powerful my supernatural power is. My incarnation is equivalent to me. If nothing else, even if you want to fight 3rd generation, you only need one hand. Ryoma laughed. Forget it, I'm too lazy to care about you. Hongbai gave Ryoma a look. You have nothing to do with me. Ryoma retorted with a smile. Hey, you are the soul of the 1st class, you have to say it. It's over, Hong said speechlessly. Outside the barbecue restaurant, the moment Anbu walked out of the store, a gust of wind whistled over and took the form of Ryoma. With that Anbu ninja gone. Hokage house. Hokage office. My lord, elders, how are you all? Ryoma walked into Hokage's office with a suave attitude. Mr. Ryoma, you are here. 3rd generation saw Ryoma, and immediately put on a kind expression. Although he wanted to kill Ryoma directly in his heart. But, seeing that Ryoma is still useful to him now, third generation greeted Ryoma with a smile without any burden in his heart. I don't know, Master Third Generation, what can you do with me? Ryoma didn't directly turn against third generation, and asked with a smile as if bathing in a spring breeze. In that case, let me tell you the truth, Ryoma. Uchiha has broken with the village. They could stage a coup at any moment. Now, Ryoma, we need your strength. Third generation said solemnly. Ryoma, Konoha is a home for all of us. Once Uchiha launches a coup, the whole village will be thrown into turmoil. As a member of Konoha, you also have the responsibility to protect this land. I hope you, Ryoma, can shoulder this burden, and Nishikiha's safety will make due contributions. It's really interesting. Ryoma couldn't help but chuckle when he heard third generation's words. First send Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi to assassinate me. After these two failed, you sent me to deal with Uchiha. In this move, you played very well. Sarutobi Hiruzen, do you think I should agree? Ryoma's words. It hit their minds like a bolt from the blue. The faces of everyone in Hokage's office changed drastically. Moonlight Ryoma, you are presumptuous. You detained Kaharu directly hit the table. She has a guilty conscience, and she wants to cover up her guilty conscience in this way. Third generation hurriedly explained to Ryoma, Ryoma, have you misunderstood us? We don't know anything about the things you mentioned. Besides, well done, why did we assassinate you? All this must be a conspiracy of the Uchiha family. All they did was to blame me for this matter. Then drive us apart. It seems that the Uchiha clan has long thought of a coup d'état. Moreover, it is moving quietly. However, we didn't find it at all. Alas, it's my credulity in Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi that made such a grave mistake. Quote. However, with Ryoma's ingenuity, I believe you must have seen a flaw in it. Otherwise, how can it be explained? They just finished assassinating you, and immediately broke up with the village and fell out. Third generation looked remorseful. It acted like it was real. If Ryoma didn't know what was going on, she probably believed him. Clap clap. Ryoma applauded and said with a smile, as expected of third Hokage. The compilation is really good. If I didn't know the whole story, maybe I would really believe your nonsense. Ryoma, you still don't believe me. Third generation said with a heavy face. Of course I don't believe it. Ryoma laughed. Ryoma, believe it or not, this matter is the same as what I said, and I don't ask you to forgive me now, but now that Konoha is in critical condition, I still hope you can take action and contribute to Konoha. Said third generation solemnly. I will make a move, but not now. Ryoma said with a faint smile. Not now, when is that? Mitokado Homura said displeased. Of course, after all of you are dead, I will take action to quell the chaos. Ryoma smiled faintly. Seeing the smile on Ryoma's face, the members of third generation felt chills in their hearts. Could it be, you've teamed up with Uchiha? Ryoma's reaction reminded third generation of many things in an instant, and he couldn't help exclaiming. Is there a possibility that Uchiha is just a pawn in my hand? Ryoma looked at third generation with a half smile. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Wait, third generation suddenly thought of a possibility, and looked at Ryoma in horror. You got Shisui and Itachi under control. It's worthy of being a Hokage for more than 30 years, I thought of it so soon. Ryoma applauded again. Several people from third generation looked at Ryoma as if they were looking at a devil. Moonlight Ryoma, why are you doing this? What good will it do you? Third generation roared in surprise and anger. The leaf has decayed, and if it wants to regenerate, it must get rid of all the diseased roots and tumors. And you Sarutobi Hiruzen, you detained Kaharu, Mitokado Homura and Shimura Danzo, you four are the biggest cancer in Konoha. If you want to make Konoha great again, you must get rid of you. It turns out that your target is the four of us. If I knew you had such a wolfish ambition, I should have killed you in advance. Third generation said with some regret. Strangle me. Don't talk big. When I show my edge, it's beyond your control. Ryoma sneered. It's almost time to start. Third generation, and all the elders, please cherish this limited time. Ryoma's voice fell. Boom one. A loud explosion came from outside. What's going on? Third generation cried out in a panic. Master third generation, Something is wrong. The hospital was bombed. At this moment, an Anbu ninja blasted open the door of Hokage's office, rushed straight into it, and said in a panic. You did this. Third generation roared at Ryoma. Master third generation, I did not do this. Under Ryoma's psychic manipulation, the Anbu ninja completely ignored that there was another person in this room besides third Hokage and the two elders. The Anbu ninja thought it was him that the third generation yelled at. His legs went limp from fright on the spot, and he quickly denied it. Roll. Third generation realized instantly that Ryoma had used that manipulative illusion on the Anbu ninja. He couldn't even see Ryoma, and it wouldn't be of much help to keep him here, so Tianjian told him to get out. Hi. Although the Anbu ninja didn't know what third generation was going crazy at this time, he didn't want to stay here for a moment, and hurried out of the office. I didn't do it, Ryoma said with a faint smile. If I'm not wrong, it should be Shisui. His goal is Danzo. Impossible. Before this, I have deployed thousands of ninjas outside the Uchiha clan's clan to defend. Even a fly can't fly out of it without being noticed. Third generation directly denied. What if he has my help? Long he smiled lightly. You. Third generation's expression froze suddenly, recalling the way that Anbu ninja just turned a blind eye to him. If Ryoma also uses it on the ninjas he deploys outside the Uchiha clan, I am afraid that the Uchiha clan will leave the clan without any effort. So, his deployment was completely in vain, even wasting a lot of troops. Moonlight Ryoma, you really deserve to die. Third generation couldn't bear it anymore, and roared at Ryoma out of control. Then, he took off the Hokage robe on his body. Get ready for Ryoma. Calm down, your opponent is not me, Ryoma said with a faint smile. At this time, bang, the door of Hokage's office was opened again. The person who came was not an Anbu ninja. Judging by his clothing and family badge, he was obviously a ninja from the Sarutobi clan. At this point, he was out of breath. Obviously, they came here in one breath from far away. Uncle Hiruzen, something is wrong. People from the Uchiha clan have entered the clan. What did you say? Third generation didn't react for a while. Uncle Hiruzen, people from the Uchiha family have entered our Sarutobi clan's clan territory. They kill anyone they see. I ran out to inform you under the cover of several family seniors because I was running fast. The person from the Sarutobi clan said hastily. When third generation heard the words of this nephew of the same clan, his eyes darkened, his figure was shaky, and he almost fell down. Sarutobi, hold on. At this time, you can't fall down. If you fall, not only we will be finished, but our 4 families will also be finished. Udatain Kaharu and Mitokado Homura rushed to help live the third generation, both frightened and panicked. Moonlight Ryoma, you are so ruthless. Third generation breathed a sigh of relief, watching Ryoma growl angrily. What does this have to do with me? It's Uchiha who did it. However, this is also normal. After all, it's not a day or two since you wanted to kill Uchiha. Uchiha is just using his own way to deal with him. Ryoma smiled lightly. Although third generation was very anxious in his heart, he did not lose his sense of proportion. After scolding Ryoma, he turned to his nephew of the same clan and said, how many times has Uchiha entered our clan? Just who took the lead? Uchiha Itachi. It's Uchiha Itachi. He led at least 50 people from the Uchiha family and stormed into our Sarutobi house. Even if Brother Shinosuke organized everyone to resist soon, he was still beaten back steadily. Said the nephew of third generation. Is Shinosuke okay? Third generation heard his nephew's words, his heart tightened again, and he hurriedly asked. Brother Shinosuke was fine when I escaped, but I don't know now. The nephew of the descendant said uneasy. Sarutobi, what's the use of asking these questions now, please help quickly. Udatain Kaharu reminded. Yes, I can't ask any more questions, it's urgent. At this time, third generation also recovered. Looking sharply at Ryoma. Moonlight Ryoma, turn it on. Third generation knew that if Ryoma didn't get out of the way, it would be difficult for him to leave here in a short time. Now the situation is critical. He doesn't want to fight Ryoma. You are welcome, but he can't leave. Ryoma glanced at the first generation nephew and said with a smile. Since it is the fish that slipped through the net of the Sarutobi family, then he will help the Uchiha clan get rid of it. Sun and Moon, I will leave it to you. Third generation gave up on his nephew without any hesitation. Then, with a wary look on his face, Ryoma walked past and left Hokage's office. Uncle, this guy is an enemy, right? Don't worry, I will definitely make good use of this guy. Third generation's nephew didn't seem too smart. Directly misunderstood the meaning of third generation. Looking at Ryoma confidently. Although Ryoma is very tall, but her face looks very immature, obviously she is not very old. He is neither an Anbu ninja nor a cadre of the Sarutobi clan, and knows nothing about Ryoma. It is natural to think that Ryoma is easy to bully. As a result, before third generation and others had gone far, they heard a sound coming from Hokage's office. To this, third generation turned a deaf ear. With 2 advisors, gather all the Anbu ninjas hidden in the Hokage building, and head towards the Sarutobi family in a mighty way. On the way, Kondo, go and inform the ninja brigade of the Uchiha clan outside the land, and enter Uchiha without leaving behind any chickens or dogs. Although third generation was very anxious at this time, he still hadn't forgotten that he still had a troop deployed by him to the outskirts of the Uchiha family. Now, Uchiha has already done something to their Sarutobi clan. Then he doesn't have to show mercy. Hi, Anbu ninja called. Kondo responded. Leave quickly. However, at this moment, a cold light flashed. Puff, a head fell to the ground. It's that Kondo's head. After someone beheaded Kondo, he picked up his head again. Walk slowly and get up towards the third generation. Third generation and others observed this sudden change, they all stopped and looked in that direction. After that person came out of the shadows. It was discovered by third generation et al. He is Uchiha Shisui. At this time, he was holding 2 heads in his hand, one of Kondo's and the other of Danzo's. That's right, at this time Shisui had already beheaded Danzo and chopped off his head. Brought here, Danzo. After seeing clearly the appearance of the head in Shisui's hand, third generation, Udatane Kaharu, and Mitokado Homura all cried out. The faces of the 3 were full of sadness. As a decades-old buddy, their friendship is far inferior to that of the clansmen in the family. Now Danzo's head dangled before their eyes. For them, the impact is very powerful. There is a feeling of cold lips and teeth, and the feeling of seeing oneself. Uchiha Shisui, you bloody fool, you killed Danzo. Come on, kill him. Udatane Kaharu pointed at Shisui and screamed angrily. Although, she has learned from the conversation between Ryoma and third generation that Shisui is controlled by Ryoma. However, she still blamed Shisui for Danzo's death. The people of Anbu did not obey Udatane Kaharu's order, but looked at the third generation instead. Kill. Third generation looked at Shisui with an extremely gloomy expression. Although he knows that Shisui is involuntary. But he still hated Shisui. Besides, even if he doesn't touch the water, Shisui will do it to them too. Shisui isn't here for sightseeing. It was clearly waiting for them. Anbu's ninja, after getting the order, whoosh whoosh, sweep towards Shisui together. Shisui looked at this scene, the corners of his mouth slightly raised. Master third generation, the 2 elder advisors, and Master Danzo have been sent away by me. In order to prevent Master Danzo from walking alone on the road to the underworld, I came here specially to take you all together. The 4 of you have been friends for decades. Let's go on the road together, Master Danzo will not be alone. Saying that, Shisui threw Danzo's head and Kondo's head to third generation and the 2 elder advisors. Then with a thought, he directly turned on Sasunu. Holding the spiral giant sword, he swung it towards Anbu who was approaching him. Bang! The spiral sword belongs to the big sword and the heavy sword. The épée has no front, so it doesn't work because of coincidence. With one blow, all the besieging Anbu ninjas were instantly crushed by the powerful sword and flew back. The earth also instantly split a crack tens of meters long. The third generation watched this scene without much reaction, far from seeing Shisui throw Danzo's head over. Because, from the very beginning, he didn't expect this group of Anbu to win the positive zone. So, he decided to do it himself. Formed with printing. Summoning. Bang. Third generation directly summoned an ape. Sarutobi, what's the situation now? The ape demon asked as soon as he appeared. The opponent is a member of the Uchiha clan. The opponent, Lilis, has awakened Mangekyo Sharingan. Next, we may have a bloody battle. Third generation said solemnly. What about it? The ape demon was also surprised when he heard this. Isn't Uchiha also from Konoha? Did they rebel? Things are just as you think. Third generation said helplessly. Sarutobi, what the hell are you doing? The ape demon complained about third generation. There are villains causing trouble, and I am powerless revolving heaven. Third generation sighed. The Uchiha clan that has awakened Mangekyo, is it an existence like Uchiha Madara? Can you beat such a strong person? Asked the ape demon. Although he has awakened Mangekyo, it is still far from the level of Madara. Besides, you are here. Let the ape demon transform into a Vajra stick. Third generation said. You really know how to summon people. The ape demon sighed helplessly, and then turned into a Vajra wish stick. Third generation held the Vajra wishful stick and played a bit. Turning around, he said to Udatane Kaharu. Kaharu, hold Danzo's head back, I'm going to avenge Danzo. Chapter 71. Uchiha Shisui, you traitor. Watch how I deal with you. With a loud shout, third generation rushed towards Shisui. Sarutobi Hiruzen, your opponent is me. At this moment, a voice came from the sky. Immediately, a figure descended from the sky and quickly landed in front of third generation, blocking his way. This person is the head of the Uchiha clan Uchiha Fugaku. King against king, general against general. In their action plan, Uchiha Fugaku was designated from the beginning to deal with third Hokage. As a result, Shisui killed Danzo lying on the hospital bed too easily, and came here early to join Fugaku. At that time, in order to kill Kondo, he even appeared in the sight of these people one step earlier than Fugaku. Uchiha Fugaku, I didn't expect you to come too. Third generation's face darkened instantly. The sense of crisis in my heart increased countless times in an instant. One Shisui is enough to give you a headache. Now comes another Fugaku. I really don't intend to give them a way out. How could I not come at this time? Fugaku looked at third generation indifferently. Heart Chunin couldn't help expressing a burst of emotion. Once upon a time, he was almost out of breath by the high-level Konoha headed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. For the survival of the family, he had to bow his head to them again and again, admit his mistakes, surrender and endure. The result is that it is pressing harder and harder. Now, when he looks at third generation again, he feels that third generation is like a dog, an old dog that is dying. Now, the three main forces of your Uchiha are coming out. Don't you be afraid that the ninja brigade surrounding your Uchiha's house will directly rush into your Uchiha's house and kill your Uchiha. Third generation snorted coldly road. At this time, he can only threaten Fugaku through this. As long as you don't pass the order on. That ninja army is a toothless tiger. It looks scary, but it's not scary at all. Fugaku sneered. When third generation heard Fugaku's words, his expression darkened instantly. Moonlight Ryoma. If it wasn't for him helping Uchiha, Uchiha couldn't jump out of the siege of his army. Not to mention it would cause him the predicament he is in now. It's really a one-stroke loss, and the whole game is lost. However, up to now, he has nothing to say, and decides everything directly by strength. Kill. Third generation roared. Wave your Vajra Omnistick and stab Fugaku straight. The moment the Vajra wishful stick was poked out, it also extended rapidly. The golden stick head pierced through layers of air barriers, and arrived in front of Fugaku in the blink of an eye. Although Fugaku has never fought against the third generation before, he also knows his fighting characteristics, coupled with his Mangekyo level of insight, he will never be hit by the main generation's Vajra Omnistick. When the Vajra wishful stick was stabbed, he used the blink technique and dodged to the other side. Fire-style fire extinction. Fugaku instantly spewed out a sea of flames. Although its power cannot be compared with Madara's, it is still quite impressive. Within dozens of meters around, the void quickly became distorted under the burning of high temperature. Water-style water dragon bomb technique. Earth-style earth dragon bullet. Fighting ninjutsu. Third generation has never been afraid of anyone. Third generation released several ninjutsu in a short period of time. Haohuomi, who destroyed Fugaku, didn't say anything, and began to chase after the victory. A wave of ninjutsu sprayed down. Fugaku was a little overwhelmed. Also no longer playing ninjutsu with third generation. Just played with the eyes. Magic Yang Hang technique. This illusion can be unleashed with a Sharingan. No printing required. The power is quite impressive. Sarutobi Hiruzen was instantly caught in the illusion carefully crafted by Fugaku. Sarutobi, wake up. CJBE. At the moment when third generation fell into the illusion, the Vajra rod in his hand was directly drawn to his face. Wake him up. Ape Demon, thank you so much. The illusion of the Uchiha clan really shouldn't be underestimated. When third generation looked at Fugaku again, his eyes gradually became serious. As expected of the third generation, they woke up so quickly. Fugaku was also secretly shocked to see third generation wake up so quickly. Although with the help of the ape demon, given the circumstances of the third generation at the time, even without the ape demon, he should be able to break the illusion very quickly. It is completely different from Orochimaru in the original work, who is completely immersed in Itachi's magical shackle technique, unable to struggle. Uchiha's Sharingan is too troublesome, you have to limit Fugaku's Sharingan. Thinking about it, third generation raised the Vajra wishful stick and rushed towards Fugaku. On the way of charging, he didn't use the Vajra Rui stick to attack Fugaku, but wrapped it around his waist and quickly formed mudras with both hands. Dark Walk Technique. Dark Road Technique belongs to the range of illusion. Therefore, it must be used close to it to be effective. With third generation, ninjutsu is fully released. A radius of tens of meters seemed to be shrouded in darkness. Especially Fugaku, at that moment, felt like his vision was taken away. Completely plunged into darkness. Can't see anything. Not good. It's a restraint technique developed by second Hokage for Sharingan, Dark Line Technique. Fugaku's heart skipped a beat. Without even thinking about it, I directly mobilized all the chakra into the eyes. Susanoo. How to crack third generation's Dark Line Technique. Fugaku thinks that Susanoo can do it easily. As long as he hides in Susanoo, no matter what third generation wants to do next, he can ensure his own safety. Boom. The moment Fugaku turned on Susanoo, a big golden stick swept across and slammed onto Fugaku's Susan. Shot Fugaku and the half-length Susan into the air for more than 10 meters. Uchiha Fugaku has also awakened Mangekyo Sharingan. Third generation looked at the half-length Susanoo and didn't understand what was going on. This fool is hiding very deep. If I knew this, I should have listened to Danzo and killed Uchiha as soon as possible. At this moment, third generation felt regret in his heart. However, his actions did not stop there. I saw him throwing out the Vajra Rui stick, and quickly formed a seal with both hands. Diamond Prison Wall. In an instant, the Vajra wishful stick quickly split into dozens of identical wishful sticks, and a large prison was quickly built near Fugaku. Trapped Fugaku thoroughly from front to back, left to right, up and down and all around. Third generation took a stride and came to the prison. While waving, another Vajra wish stick split out from the prison, and flew into the hands of third generation. Under his control, the Vajra Rui rod quickly extended, passed through the gap in the prison, and reached Fugaku's Susan. Fugaku, surrender, while there is still a chance to save everything. As long as you are willing to surrender, I can give you Uchiha family a chance to be punished lightly. Third generation said. Ha ha ha. Until now, you still think that you have a chance to redeem Sarutobi Hiruzen. Your Sarutobi clan has been exterminated, you can let go of this privilege. Do not make jokes. Who do you think I am, that you can fool me casually? Also, do you think, in this way, you will win? It's too early for you to be proud now. Fugaku snorted coldly. Although he didn't know what the third generation was thinking at this time, he decided not to listen. At the same time, chakra is continuously extracted from the body, and then sent to the Mangekyo Sharingan. With the blessing of the new chakra, Fugaku's black Susanoo keeps getting bigger, taller, and more prosperous. The walls of the Vajra prison that surrounded him rattled. It's almost unstoppable. Sarutobi, think of a way, I can't hold it anymore. The Vajra wishful stick turned into a painful expression of the ape demon. Seeing this, third generation's heart sank. No more hesitation, he quickly called back the Vajra Rui stick, and at the same time retreated quickly. Boom! Without the suppression of the Vajra wall, Fugaku's Susanoo quickly grew to a height of more than 10 meters. It's almost perfect. Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique. After Sarutobi distanced himself from Fugaku. Throw out a handful of kunai casually, and quickly form a seal with both hands, directly turning a handful of kunai into countless ones. And with the blessing of wind-style chakra. Great work. Like thousands of flying swords flying together. Susanoo who shoots at Fugaku. However, these kunai sting Susanoo, just like humans are bitten by mosquitoes. Pain is pain, but it doesn't hurt at all. Ding ding ding. Under patches of Mars, Fugaku drew the spear behind Susanoo and swept it forward. Because the dark technique has not been lifted, he can't see where the third generation is, so he can only attack based on his own feeling. Boom. The spear swept across, rolling up a strong wind pressure, and swept out a sector of ruins in an instant. Third Hokage was also forced to withdraw from the range of darkness technique. At this point, the dark road technique is completely broken. Fugaku looked at the third generation who retreated tens of meters away, and sneered. Just get ready to chase. He has to take advantage of his good condition to solve the third generation as soon as possible. After all, it is not without burden for him to open Susanoo. On the contrary, the longer he uses it, the faster his eyesight will drop. At this time, Udatane Kaharu suddenly yelled, "Sarutobi, help!" Fugaku paused, and looked to the other side together with third generation. At this point, Shisui beheaded more than half of the Anbu ninjas. Even Mitokado Homura was injured. At this time, Shisui was driving a green Susan towards Udatane Kaharu. He is still far from Udatane Kaharu. But Udatane Kaharu was already frightened and asked third generation for help. Haven't touched anyone for decades, are you already unbearable to this extent? I haven't touched you yet, you are already scared like this. It's really sad that Konoha has been occupied by a waste like you, and has been pretending to be a tiger for decades. Don't struggle, I'll move quickly, and I'll send you to Danzo right away. Shisui waved the spiral sword with a grin on his face. Third generation looked at this scene, completely, without thinking too much, and quickly flew towards where Kaharu was. The moment Shisui swung the spiral sword, he successfully saved Udatane Kaharu. Bang! Shisui hit the air with one blow. The powerful sword pressure split the floor tens of meters apart in an instant. The air waves generated by the impact swayed hundreds of meters. All the ninjas were forced to step back, connected with Shisui by a long distance. Kaharu, Yan, you two don't stay here anymore, retreat towards Uchiha, there is our army there, as long as you get there, you will be safe. After finishing speaking, third generation turned to face all Anbu said. It's the same for all of you, don't stay here anymore, all separate and retreat in the direction of the Uchiha clan. As soon as you get there, you immediately let Kakashi and Guy lead the troops back. Hi, all the Anbu heard what the third generation said, and immediately responded in unison. It's not that they want to abandon Ying and run away. The two Gundams Shisui and Fugaku were really scary. They were completely terrified. Sarutobi, can you deal with two Mangekyo by yourself? Kaharu worried. If you can't handle it, what can you do? They've already set their sights on me, and I can't escape, but you still have a chance. Go for it. Third generation smiled wryly. Sarutobi, try not to confront them head-on, as long as you can, I will come to rescue you after Kakashi and I meet up. Mitokado Homura said in a deep voice. Yan, are you going to give up Sarutobi? Udatane Kaharu was a little unbelievable when he heard Mitokado Homura's straightforward decision. Shut up, Kaharu, we are not what we were decades ago. We who have abandoned ninjutsu for decades are of no use here except to add chaos. Mitoman said calmly. Udatane Kaharu blushed when he heard Mitokado Homura's words. Just now, she was indeed frightened and called third generation. It's really useless except for dragging your feet. No, it's kind of useful, she put Danzo's head back. However, after hearing Mitokado Homura's words, she also understood what to do. Sarutobi, you must survive. Udatane Kaharu solemnly said to third generation. Yes, third generation nodded. 4 Anbu ninjas walked up to Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura, 2 guarding 1. Disperse with the sound of third generation. Udatane Kaharu, Mitokado Homura and a group of Anbu quickly spread out from different directions. Fugaku and Shisui have no intention of pursuing. Instead, they tacitly surrounded the third generation. Looking at the actions of the two, third generation had a bad premonition in his heart. I'm afraid, Koharu and Yan will not evacuate so easily. Just when third generation was thinking like this. A burst of screams came from all sides. Not long. The Anbu ninja who had just left fled back in embarrassment with Udatane Koharu and Mitokado Homura. Sarutobi, we can't withdraw, this place has been surrounded by ninjas from the Uchiha family. Udatane Koharu said to third generation with a sad face. That's right. Upon hearing this, third generation's mood instantly sank to the bottom. There is no other hope at all. Koharu, Yan, it's time for us to wake up. Back then, the teacher sacrificed himself to give us a break. Now, it's our turn. Konoha must never fall into the hands of Uchiha, so even if we have to sacrifice ourselves, we must take Fugaku and Shisui away together. Third generation said in a deep voice. Third generation would even take Ryoma along if they could. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it. Leaving aside whether Ryoma is here or not. Even now, with Ryoma's ability, he can't do it by himself. Udatane Koharu and Mitokado Homura exchanged glances. He nodded heavily. In this case, let us ignite ourselves once for Konoha. Dry. Third generation saw that the two old partners were willing to rekindle with him for Konoha, to live and die together, to share adversity. Instead of crying and crying, greedy for life and afraid of death, wanting to live without dignity. Very pleased. In this way, he didn't have to send them on the road before dying to save their Konoha F4's face. All of you, try to hold Uchiha Shisui back for me. The two advisors and I will take down Uchiha Fugaku first and then deal with Uchiha Shisui with you. The master gave the final order to the only remaining Anbu ninja. They had nowhere to retreat, and at this moment, they could only follow third generation desperately. Everyone has a kind of determination to do nothing. Koharu, Yan, the three of us will fight Fugaku together. Third generation turned to Udatane Koharu and Mitokado Homura. When the two of them completely let go of their last worries and prepared to risk their lives. A powerful aura gradually condensed from his body. Although, nowhere near the third generation. But it is also a little bit stronger than the average Jonin. In fact, is not surprising. Waste firewood can cook several meals when lit. What's more, they are the two former elites. After they decided to burn themselves completely. There is no longer any reservation. Do everything, risk your life, in exchange for a temporary explosion, the power you get is naturally very impressive. Superior. With a deep drink from third generation. Everyone charged. The remaining Anbu ninjas frantically charged towards Uchiha Shisui. Third generation kills Uchiha Yufu. Udatane Koharu assisted. Mitokado Homura didn't keep up with the two of them, but retreated tens of meters and found a seemingly safe place to sit cross-legged. Spirit Transformation Technique. Huling Technique is a ninjutsu developed by second Hokage. Mitokado Homura, as a disciple of second generation, is very reasonable to master the ninjutsu handed down by a second Hokage. With the success of his ninjutsu, wrapped in a green chakra coat, his soul emerged from his body. Fly towards Fugaku. Poke before shaking your feet. Total annihilation. Break Washin. Third Hokage is holding a 10-meter-long Vajra Rui stick, waving it vigorously. In addition, Kuixia Shao shoots a wave of shuriken shadow clone from time to time. The two complement each other. Even if Fugaku is driving Susan Gundam and wielding his spear wildly, it will be difficult for him to gain the upper hand for a while. These two old fellows seem to be desperate. Such a powerful attack suddenly erupted. HMPH, I want to see who can't hold it up first. Fugaku was very surprised by the explosive power of third generation and Udatane Koharu at this time, but it was not surprising. Before one dies, one has to struggle. He regarded them as the last struggle before death. However, just when he focused all his attention on third generation and warming up Koharu, a ray of light quickly passed through Susanoo's defense. Get inside him. What's the matter? Fugaku's figure froze suddenly. Even Sasunu paused. Third generation seized the opportunity and swung the club with a kick, and the Vajra Rui stick hit Fugaku's Susan hard. Afterwards, the Vajra wishful rod stretched rapidly, holding Susanoo and calling out Luffy for hundreds of meters. Boom! Susan hit the ground hard. A large crack broke out. At the same time, Uchiha Fugaku relied on his powerful mental power to repel the streamer that had penetrated into his body. Completely solve your own troubles. After Lu Guang got out of the body, he didn't dare to stay longer. Quickly flew back to third generation and Udatain Kaharu. Sarutobi, Uchiha Fugaku's mental power is too strong, let alone occupying his body. The moment I entered his body, I was repelled by his spirit. That green streamer is none other than Mitokado Homura. At this time, he was telling the third generation and Zhuangli Kaharu about the situation he encountered. My attack power can't break his Susan, so it's not an option to continue like this. We must change the way we fight. Yan, try again. Kaharu, this time you come to assist Yan. As long as you suppress him for a moment, I can give him the final blow. Third generation said in a deep voice. Sarutobi, don't you want to? Udatain Kaharu heard the words of third generation, and instantly thought of the young fourth Hokage. This is the last resort. Third generation solemnly said. If I can successfully seal Uchiha Fugaku. Yan, Kaharu, you immediately turn around and attack Uchiha Shisui. I'm going to get rid of them once and for all. Clear. Since they all plan to rekindle for Konoha, they naturally put life and death aside. They will no longer persuade the third generation, say something to think about it again. Superior. It fell with the sound of third generation. Udatain Kaharu took the lead and charged towards Uchiha Fugaku. Mitokado Homura hides behind Udatain Kaharu, ready to come out and kill Uchiha Fugaku. Third generation followed closely behind. Stand by and move. If Udatain Kaharu and Mitokado Homura's actions go well, then it's his time to make a move, and if their actions don't go well, he is responsible for saving them. It can be said that the division of labor is clear. At this point, Fugaku has stood up again. Although third generation's poke sent him flying hundreds of meters. But he wasn't hurt in any way. All the injuries were borne by Susanoo. However, after that blow, Fugaku still clearly felt that his vision began to decline. After realizing this, Fugaku gradually became anxious. He didn't want to continue spending time with the old men from third generation. He must end the battle as soon as possible. Thinking about it, he didn't look at Udatain Kaharu, who was rushing towards him in the first place, and he didn't look at third Hokage, who was following him, but looked at Mitoden, who was sitting cross-legged on the ground 100 meters away. The streamer that rushed into my body just now was Mitokado Homura, so it should be the spirit transformation technique. Huling technique is a ninjutsu invented by second Hokage. It is not surprising that he knows this trick. Now, he's hiding behind Udatain Kaharu. Is he trying to do it again? Uchiha Fugaku sneered. He drives a Mangekyo Sharingan. Even if Sharingan's insight is not as good as Baian's, it is impossible not to discover Mitokado Homura's spirit body. Unfortunately, the same moves are useless against Sharingan. To capture a thief, first capture the king. To kill a man, shoot the horse first. The best way to deal with a spirit body is to destroy his entity. In just a split second, Fugaku made his decision. He raised the spear in his hand and shot it at the body of Mitokado Homura, who was sitting cross-legged on the ground 100 meters away. No, Yan is exposed. Third generation looked at the spear thrown by Fugaku and was shocked. He wanted to interrupt the plan and go to save Mitokado Homura. With his ability, if he blocks it right away, he can still intercept the spear shot by Fugaku. Ignore Sarutobi and continue to attack. Now that you have awakened, don't talk about those unimportant things. We must take Uchiha Fugaku in one fell swoop. In the blink of an eye, Mitokado Homura not only understood Fugaku's intentions, but also sensed third generation's thoughts, and immediately stopped third generation's actions. When third generation heard the words, tears filled their eyes. While feeling uncomfortable, I feel relieved. His old buddy also has the same consciousness as him. No one stopped. The spear flew away, instantly blasting Mitokado Homura's body. Bang! The flesh and blood were smashed into pieces in an instant. Blood mist filled the air. The scene was quite bloody. Appalling. Mitokado Homura's spiritual body couldn't help howling at the moment when his physical body was destroyed. However, soon, Mitokado Homura used secret techniques to stabilize his spirit body. Without the physical body, the spiritual body is completely rootless duckweed, which will dissipate as soon as possible. However, he will not dissipate directly. With his current situation, the survival time is enough for him to finish this battle. Flame. Although Udatane Kaharu and third generation had prepared themselves, they still couldn't help but feel sad when they heard Mitokado Homura's spiritual body howling. His physical body has been destroyed, but his spiritual body has not dissipated. Fugaku was surprised. Fugaku has only heard of the howling technique, but he is not very clear about the specific situation of the howling technique. Seeing that Mitokado Homura's spirit body did not dissipate because of this, I was surprised at the same time. There is a faint uneasiness. Before he had time to think about it, he stretched out his hand to recall the spear that was fired. However, when Udatane Kaharu had already reached him. In the beginning, she was going to use a B-rank illusion that she was good at on Fugaku. But when she saw Fugaku's face, a light suddenly flashed in her mind. She straight up changed her mind. Shadow clone technique. Bang bang bang. All of a sudden, countless old and disabled Udatane Kaharu appeared in front of Fugaku. Attracted Fugaku's attention. What the hell is this old woman trying to do? Fugaku became alert for a moment. Uchiha Fugaku, accept the cruelest punishment in this world. Udatane Kaharu sneered. Another seal was formed in an instant. Harem technique. Bang bang bang. Under the white smoke, the shadow clone of Udatane Kaharu turned into old, disabled, ugly women without clothes. One by one, posing, teasing, seducing, hooking up with Fugaku. Master Fugaku, you are so handsome, I like you so much. Oh, Master Fugaku, you are amazing, I like you so much. Master Fugaku, come on, have fun. Anyway, there is a lot of time. Puff. Uchiha Fugaku, on high alert, had no idea that Udatane Kaharu would use such an outrageous move. He couldn't hold back for a second. Just a glance. He broke the defense. In my mind, there are all the shaking fat, the old wrinkled face, the horrible lips, the disgusting eyebrows, and the head scratching that directly hit the soul. At this instant, Fugaku sprayed directly. Too spicy for the eyes. He estimated that he would never forget this nightmarish scene for a long time to come. It is estimated that for a long time to come, he will no longer be interested in women. Even seeing a woman, he would recall today's scene. The whole person is numb. Completely numb. Not to mention Fugaku, even third generation and Mitokado Homura behind Udatane Kaharu were completely dumbfounded watching this scene. A kiss between a middle-aged couple can make them sick for a long time. When they saw the disgusting figure of their old partner, they felt as if they had been struck by lightning. Totally stunned. Also completely numb. They never expected that Udatane Kaharu suddenly came to make such a play. This is a battle of life and death. Kaharu, what are you doing? However, when they saw that Fugaku was also damaged by Udatane Kaharu's move, eyes suddenly lit up. At this time, they realized that Udatane Kaharu's move was like a stroke of magic. Absolutely. Kaharu did a great job. This is the time. Mitokado Homura and third generation applauded secretly, looked at each other, and then understood what the other meant. The next moment, Mitokado Homura quickly turned into a green streamer, passed through Fugaku's Susanoo, drilled into his sea of consciousness, and snatched Fugaku's body control with the most ferocious posture. Fugaku, who had just been hit hard by Udatane Kaharu, was in a state of disarray when Mitokado Homura got the upper hand. When he reacted, Mitokado Homura had manipulated his body, dispelling Susanoo. Ghoul seal. The moment Fugaku scattered Susanoo. Without the slightest hesitation, third generation directly used the taboo sealing technique that fourth Hokage used to seal Nine Tails, and quickly grabbed Uchiha Fugaku's hands. Instantly pulled Uchiha's soul out. Uchiha Fugaku screamed. Start desperately resisting. Third Hokage, what kind of technique is this? Why can't I move? Fool, you let me go. But not everyone knows about zombie ghoul. As a disciple of third generation, Orochimaru only vaguely guessed it. Didn't recognize it right away. When the fourth generation sealed the Nine Tails, all the Uchiha clan were trapped at home and could not go out. Fugaku doesn't even know the power of this sealing technique. It's impossible to let go of you, Uchiha Fugaku, let's go to Wonkwon with me. With your back, we are not too shabby on the road to Wonkwon. Too lonely, Medei snorted coldly. No, I'm not reconciled. Our Uchiha will soon rule Konoha, and I will soon become Konoha's Hokage. I am not willing to die like this. Uchiha Fugaku yelled unwillingly. HMPH, so what if you were unwilling? The moment you were caught by me, you were already doomed to die. You are a traitor, you deserve to die. In addition, let me tell you another cruel thing, even if you don't die, you can't become Hokage. Your sons, Uchiha Itachi and Shisui, are just puppets manipulated by others. Even if you win, they will betray you at critical moments and stab you in the back. All you Uchiha have done is to make wedding dresses for others. You know how ridiculous. Third generation sneered. Impossible, absolutely impossible. How could Itachi and Shisui be someone else's puppets? I don't believe it. The words of third generation pierced his heart like a knife. While making him feel suffocated, a surge of fear welled up in his heart. Don't believe me. Think about it with your pig's brain. Who were Itachi and Shisui in the past, and what have they become now? At this time, third generation didn't miss a chance to taunt Fugaku. Shisui, come and save me. Fugaku kind of believed third generation's words, but he didn't fully believe it. He still had a little hope for Uchiha's future and his own future. After hearing the words of the third generation, he began to call for help from Shisui not far away. Of course Shisui heard Fugaku's cries for help, but he was completely deaf and indifferent. Fugaku looked at this scene, as if struck by lightning. Totally desperate. See, this is the truth. Third generation sneered. The words of third generation were like a sharp knife, completely cutting off the last trace of illusion in Fugaku's heart. Who is that person? Fugaku asked desperately. I'm going to die, do I still need to know? Third generation sneered. Of course it is necessary. If I don't know who is manipulating us Uchiha to fight with Konoha, I will die in peace. Fugaku said angrily. Since you want to know, let me tell you, it's Moonlight Ryoma. Said the third generation. Moonlight Ryoma, Azumi's companion. He's only 12 years old. How is this possible? Fugaku's eyes were full of disbelief. Your son Uchiha Itachi is only 12 years old this year, and he has awakened Mangekyo Sharingan too. Nothing is impossible. Third generation sneered. Say yes, but that's good too. He and Izumi have such a good relationship. Think about it, it will leave a way for Uchiha to survive. Fugaku muttered to himself and closed his eyes without any resistance. The Shinigami phantom behind third generation took the opportunity to completely pull out Fugaku's soul. Puff, with Shinigami's sword swing down. Fugaku's soul is completely separated from his body. Boom, Fugaku lost his soul body and fell straight back. Dead eyes. Yeah, after he finished using your Uchiha family, he will give your Uchiha family a way of life, but he will not give our Sarutobi family a way of life. Third generation looked at the fallen body of Uchiha Fugaku and sighed. Above the sky, Ryoma's avatar has been watching the battle. To him, Fugaku was just a stupid guy who got in the way, so he had to die. Udatane Kaharu suddenly made such an outrageous operation. In fact, they were all guided by him. Facts have proved that spoofs can sometimes be successful. At least, Fugaku fell under this trick. The battle below continues. After the three members of the old group successfully beheaded Fugaku, Uchiha Shisui was immediately pointed at. At this time, Shisui had killed the group of Anbu down to 4. Moreover, all 4 of them have been hanged. If the 3 members of the elderly group do not come to support in time, it is estimated that in less than a minute, all 4 of them will be killed. Uchiha Shisui, take my life. This time it was Udatane Kaharu playing forward. The trick just now gave her a taste of the sweetness. Although she herself was a little embarrassed, she was still going to repeat the old trick. No way, after all, use it. However, Shisui's operation is completely different from Fugaku's in the face of the group of old people who came to kill him. Susano-99. Shisui's green chakra giant's chest instantly appeared with a huge red jade. Guyu is running, quickly condensed to generate a large number of chakra-sharp arrows. Immediately afterwards, it shot out like a rainstorm of pear blossoms. This chakra arrow came fast and fast. Directly submerged Udatane Kaharu charging on the road. Puff puff. Neither third generation nor Mitokado Homura have reacted yet. Udatane Kaharu has been shot into a hornet's nest. Kaharu, Mitokado Homura and third generation shouted. Another partner fell. They are sad and helpless. Sorry, I can only go so far. Yan, it's up to you next. We must send Sarutobi to Uchiha Shisui. Udatain Kaharu was covered in blood, and his breath was getting weaker. Before dying, although she was very unwilling in her heart, she still accepted the reality and greeted death calmly. Kaharu, don't go in such a hurry, wait for us, we will be here soon. Said Mitokado Homura. Glanced with third generation, nodding tacitly. Shisui is already the last target. There is no need for him to continue to conserve energy. In this instant, he ignites his chakra, ignites his astral body. Turn into a strong light and throw it towards the water. Shisui didn't dare to underestimate Mitokado Homura's desperate fight, and raised Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil power to the extreme, targeting Mitokado Homura with the strongest insight. When Mitokado Homura flew over, he mercilessly swung the spiral giant sword in his hand, and slashed down fiercely. Boom! In an instant, the world was shaken. A strong air wave poured out, sweeping a radius of 100 meters. Mitokado Homura's spirit rest, in the midst of that flash, was blown away by Shisui's spiral sword. Nothing left. The soul of Mitokado Homura turned into a little light and dissipated into the sky. Flame. Backquote. Third generation looked at Mitokado Homura, who disappeared, and was slightly stunned. At this moment, his mind is full of past memories. He, Danzo, Kaharu, Yan, the four play together, work hard together, struggle together, compete together, and intrigue together. They followed first Hokage, looking forward to the future. They followed second Hokage, learned ninjutsu, and fought north and south. After they became high-ranking members of Konoha, they began to intrigue for power. Those bits and pieces gathered into the life of third generation. Third generation once heard people say that when they keep recalling the past, it means that this person is about to die. The third generation also knew that he was dying. Even if he stands still, as time passes, the Shinigami behind him will consume him. Therefore, he did not choose to sit still. Instead, like a veteran, one tragically launched the last charge towards Shisui. Shisui looked at third generation, did not choose to attack, but retracted Susanoo. When the third generation rushed in front of him, he directly used the phantom body flicker technique. Spread out in all directions. Third generation watched countless Shisui appear in different places. Instantly dumbfounded. So many Shisui, which one should he catch? Should he go after that? He doesn't have white eyes, and he doesn't have round eyes, he can't tell which one is the real body at all. At this moment, he was desperate. He didn't die in battle, but died in the difficulty of choosing. Uchiha Shisui, you grandson thief. Third generation let out a long roar, and fell down with strong unwillingness. Above the sky, Ryoma's incarnation looked at this scene and smiled dumbly. This way of dying is also in line with the original book. The matter on this side is over, it's time to look at it on the other side. Sarutobi Clan, Clan Land. Itachi took 66 elite ninjas of the Uchiha family and started a massacre in the Sarutobi clan. At first, they thought the task was easy. But, after they really entered the Sarutobi clan, they just found out. They are so naive. Although the people of the Sarutobi clan are not strong, their killing is like cutting melons and vegetables. However, there are too many people in the Sarutobi clan. So much so that all Uchiha people feel incredible. How many people are there in the Sarutobi clan? We are about to kill 3,000 people. The hands are numb, why haven't they been slaughtered? A Uchiha family ninja couldn't help complaining. God knows. I have to say that Sarutobi Hiruzen, the third Hokage, is really good. The Sarutobi clan originally only had about 200 or 300 people. It can only be regarded as a small ninja. However, in the hands of Sarutobi Hiruzen, in just a few decades, it directly expanded by more than 10 times. In these years, I don't know how much people's fat and people's ointment he has collected from Konoha, and how much hard-earned money he has exploited from ninjas, in order to support the Sarutobi clan to this point. On weekdays, I still look like a good old man, dedicated to the public, I am. To be honest, I am a little envious of Sarutobi Hiruzen, who has such a talent in Sarutobi's family. Quote, don't be envious. In the future, Konoha will belong to our Uchiha clan. At that time, Our Uchiha will also be able to grow 10 times or 20 times with the help of Konoha. That's right, Sarutobi Hiruzen did it, and we Uchiha did the same. It's almost enough. Let me check to see if there are any fish that have slipped through the net. Our task is not limited to the Sarutobi clan, but the 4 clans, and now we have wasted too much time on the Sarutobi clan. Itachi said coldly. Hi. The ninja of the Uchiha family shivered and responded quickly. Although Itachi is younger than many of them, he is not only the son of the patriarch but also the strong man who opened Mangekyo. Uchiha who has always respected the strong. Very convinced by Ferret. No one dared to refute Itachi's order. The ninjas of the Uchiha clan walked around the ground of the Sarutobi clan, Zhao Qinhao, again, after making sure that there were no survivors. Itachi took a look, and saw that Sarutobi Shinosuke was stabbed in the chest and died with regret. Indifferently said, let's go. Then, in less than an hour, Mito's family and Zhuanju's family were wiped out successively. Although Mitokado Homura and Udatane Koharu also collected a lot of wealth from Konoha, they are not as crazy as Sarutobi Hiruzen, let alone use all of them to strengthen their families. Therefore, although the number of these 2 families is quite large, they are not enough to add up to 1/3 of the Sarutobi family. In the end, Itachi led the ninjas of Uchiha's family to kill Shimura's family. However, this time, their progress was not so smooth, and they hadn't waited for them to set up the enchantment. The people of Shimura's family have already discovered them. Although the Shimura family suffered heavy casualties in a round of confrontation, many people escaped from the family and are asking for help everywhere in Konoha. Okay, the next big show, it's time to change the protagonist. After Ryoma's avatar snapped his fingers, his whole body turned into a breeze and dissipated in the sky. The Uchiha clan, since the Nine Tails incident, it was transferred to the outermost edge of the village by the village's senior management. The new land of the Uchiha family is very large. However, in this vicinity, except for the Uchiha family, there is not a single dwelling within 500 meters. Walking all the way from the Uchiha tribe, the outside is empty. Except for the trees, there is only grass. It's usually fine, but if you walk alone on the road here at night, if you're a little timid, you'll probably feel terrified. At this time, this land is not empty, because it hides thousands of ninjas. They surrounded the whole of Uchiha. They are the army of ninjas deployed here by the 3rd generation. The deployment of 3rd generation has 2 purposes. The first is to monitor the movements of the Uchiha clan. The second is to prevent Uchiha from suddenly popping out. Even if Uchiha really came out, they must be blocked here, and they must not be allowed to enter the village. 3rd generation's calculations are pretty good. Unfortunately, because of Ryoma's operation, his plan was scrapped at once. It was because he sent Wandu here. Not many people around are available. In the end, he ended up with the tragic end of his soul being swallowed by Shinigami. Didn't you say that Uchiha is going to rebel? Why is Uchiha's clan so quiet? A ninja who was in charge of monitoring the situation of Uchiha clan said to his companion in confusion. Who knows, maybe this is also a conspiracy of the Uchiha clan, said another ninja. Besides, even if you wanted to rebel, you wouldn't choose this time. It's only the early 8 o'clock. That's right, wait slowly. It's still early, I guess it won't happen until the middle of the night, another ninja said with an experienced face. However, at this moment, suddenly there was a commotion from behind the army. But a ninja from the Shimura family suddenly broke into the formation of the ninja army, and was captured by the nearby ninjas on the spot. Let go of me, I'm Shimura Takuya, I have an urgent matter with Captain Sarutobi and Vice Captain Kakashi. Shimura Takuya yelled loudly. Instantly attracted the attention of everyone around. At this time, a group of people with very unusual identities came over. Shimura Takuya took a look. Not only the Sarutobi Taro he was looking for, he is the current deputy minister of Anbu, the highest person in charge here, and Kakashi, he also saw his uncle Shimura Dazang. In addition, there are Hyuga Hiyashi, the head of the Hyuga clan, Nara Shikahisa, the head of the Nara clan, Yamanaka Haichi, the head of the Yamanaka clan, and Akamaiki Choza, the head of the Akamaiki clan. Almost everything he could name was here. Takuya, what are you doing here? Shimura Dazang saw CJBH, his own nephew, and couldn't help scolding. Uncle Dazang, the family is gone. When Shimura Takuya saw Shimura Dazang, he couldn't help it on the spot, and broke down and burst into tears. Nah, Takuya, do you know what you're talking about? Shimura Dazang heard Shimura Takuya's words, his heart was shocked, and he hurriedly shouted. Of course I know, I'm not crazy yet. Shimura Takuya said so, but looking at his collapsed expression, it was no different from being crazy. What the hell is going on? Tell me quickly. Shimura Dazang heard Shimura Takuya's words, but he couldn't bear it, and asked quickly. Not only are Shimura's family, the Zhuanshu family's family, Mito's family's family and Sarutobi's family are all gone. Shimura Takuya didn't answer Shimura Dazu, and was still crying and breaking down. At this time, the ninjas of the other three major families are not calm either. What the hell is going on here? Takuya, tell me quickly, you are really terrified. At this time, not only Shimura Dazang was urging Shimura Takuya, but other members of the big family were also urging him. Uchiha Itachi led a group of ninjas from the Uchiha family to break into our family's family land. Although our family members discovered them in time, they still brutally killed many people. At that time, I ran out. At first, I wanted to go to Sarutobi's house for help, but when I walked into Sarutobi's house, I found out. The Sarutobi clan was also slaughtered by them long ago. I saw Master Shinosuke with a knife stuck in his chest, and he died with regret. Mr. Shinosuke's wife and son died beside him. At that time, I was terrified. They hurried to the Mito family's house to rescue them, but the Mito family's house was also completely slaughtered. Later, unwilling to give up, I ran to the Zhuanjujiya, but before I reached the Zhuanjujiya, I ran into Brother Takumi who also escaped on the road. He told me that the Zhuanjujiya was also slaughtered. Later, after a short discussion, we decided to split into two ways to find support. Brother Takumi went to the Hokage building for help, and I came here to ask everyone for help. It was difficult for Shimura Takuya to be able to finish speaking in one breath at this time. People from the four major families heard Shimura Takuya's words. There is no God at all. It's gone, the family is gone. At this time, people from other families heard Shimura Takuya's words and realized the seriousness of the matter. Deputy Minister Sarutobi, don't rush to be sad, the situation is urgent now, let's think about what to do next. Although I don't know how Uchiha Itachi and the others escaped from the encirclement of our thousands of troops. However, since they can escape, they definitely won't only target the four major families. Maybe, at this time, Lord Third Generation was also attacked by people from the non-Zebo family. Therefore, we must mobilize a group of people as soon as possible, and go back to see the situation of Lord Third Generation. At this time, Nara Luju said. Jonin dear is right, we can't be sad now, Lord Third Generation is probably still waiting for our rescue. Sarutobi Taro heard what Deer said. With a shock, he immediately came back to his senses. Family is important, yes, but so is Third Generation. If the family is gone, it can still be rebuilt. If the Third Generation is gone, then they are completely finished. Kakashi, Dazang, you two lead 100 Jonin and 500 Chunin back to the Hokage building to support Lord Third Generation. If you encounter trouble, just release the signal flare, and I will lead the army to kill. Sarutobi Taro said murderously. Understood. Kakashi also realized the seriousness of the matter. He responded directly, and then ordered troops quickly. After quickly removing a small part of the elite from the thousands of troops, they hurried towards the Hokage building. Now, everyone listens. Exist. Let me raise the Uchiha clan to the ground. Sarutobi Taro gave the order murderously. Since Uchiha has already done such a tragic thing as extermination, there is no need for him to keep Uchiha. Uchiha's people ran to the encirclement and slaughtered their people, but only a small part escaped. There are also a large number of Uchiha people in the family land of the Uchiha family. The patriarchs of the major families couldn't help but look at each other when they heard Sarutobi Taro's words, but they didn't speak at this time. Although it is not good for the Tuzu, Uchiha did it first. They also have no reason to prevent Sarutobi Taro from returning with revenge. They can only hint to their clansmen in a secret way, don't work so hard, just fish in troubled waters. Thousands of troops followed Sarutobi Taro's order. He rushed towards the Uchiha clan in a mighty way. At the same time, Ryoma, who happened to come out of the barbecue shop, glanced at the three girls beside him, and said with a faint smile, "The final battle has already begun, let's go, it's our turn to play." Bang! The moment the gate of the Uchiha family was breached, two tall Susanos, one green and one red, suddenly appeared. The green Susan wields a spiral sword. The red Susan wields a flaming sword. Green sword pressure and red flames crisscross. The first batch of ninjas who rushed into the Uchiha clan were directly suppressed and killed on the spot. There were also hundreds of ninjas who flew upside down tens of meters amidst the berserk impact. For a time, the ninja army suffered heavy casualties. Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi. Didn't they run outside? When did they come back? We didn't even notice. Hyuga Hiyashi looked at the two figures inside Uchiha's gate from a distance, and couldn't help but exclaimed. Naturally, it is impossible for them to find out. This play directed by Ryoma himself. How could there be any mistakes? Long before Shimura Takuya came, he had Shisui and Itachi lead the Uchiha clan ninjas and Fugaku's corpse to sneak back to the clan ground. How they got out is how they got back. No one outside the Uchiha tribe was alarmed. This is troublesome. Nara Lujo's heart sank suddenly. The Uchiha family actually came back. Does this mean that not only the four major families, even the third generation are in danger? Trouble too. This time either Uchiha will die or we will die. Sarutobi Taro looked at the two huge Susans hundreds of meters away, and hated him for a moment. But not as far as Luju thought. However, when the patriarchs of the major families next to him heard his words, they didn't take it seriously. Uchiha just has an unresolvable conflict with your four big families. There is no such big hatred with us. Even if they fight to the end, they really can't fight, at worst they surrender to Uchiha. But there is no need to fight to the death with the Uchiha clan. Outside the gate of Uchiha's house, after escaping the catastrophe, Gaifeng still felt a lingering fear when he saw the tragic situation in front of him. Xian, thank you for giving me a hand just now, otherwise, I'm afraid I would have followed in the footsteps of those companions. Gaifeng said gratefully to Xian beside him. You're welcome, but, Haifeng, I'm afraid the next battle will be very fierce, you'd better be careful. Xian said. Although she doesn't have the same feelings for Haifeng as in the original novel, she is still a member of the Yugong family, and Haifeng is by her side. No matter what, it is impossible for her to leave Haifeng alone. If you can, you'd better use transit to escape to the side, and come out when the battle is over. After thinking for a while, Xian said again. I want to too, but I don't dare. Gaifeng smiled wryly. He was personally named and dispatched by the third generation, which represented the high expectations of the third generation for him, so he naturally had to perform well. If he fled without fighting and hid until the battle was over, he would not know how to explain to Hyo when he returned. Xian glanced at Haifeng and ignored him. The road is chosen by the wind. What kind of consequences will be, can only be borne by himself. At this time, Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi came out with green whiskers and red whiskers. People of Uchiha, this will be the final battle. As long as we win this battle, Konoha will belong to us Uchiha. In order to realize the great revival of our Uchiha family, in order to realize the long-cherished wish of our Uchiha family for many years, everyone, kill me. Shisui roared. With the horns of Itachi, they rushed towards the ninja outside the gate. Behind them, the Uchiha clan also howled and followed. Although, in previous actions, their patriarch, Uchiha Fugaku, died at the hands of third Hokage. Cast a shadow over their victory. But they still managed to kill third generation, Danzo, Utatane Kaharu, Mitokado Homura and their families. Although Fugaku's death shocked them greatly, even without Fugaku, Uchiha still has a great chance of winning. As long as they win this battle, Konoha belongs to them. Therefore, they are still full of fighting spirit. Kill, in the sound of shouting and killing. Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi led the way like sheep, and all the ninjas who tried to stop them were chopped down along the way. Left is too strong. For ordinary ninjas like Konoha, it is too strong. They are not even once enemies of the two. With one touch, he was killed and his horse was turned over. The Uchiha tribe behind the two also acted very fiercely. For a while, Konoha's ninja army was beaten back steadily. Gap, Be careful. Shi Yan looked at the majestic and majestic two Susans galloping across the battlefield, her heart burst into flames. I really want to fight this Suzuo. Xian, where are you going? Gaifeng asked quickly after hearing Xian's words. I'm going to meet that big guy. Shi Yan pointed at the green giant Susanna with burning eyes. Saying that, without waiting for Haifeng to respond, he flew towards Nasusa. Kamikaze slash. Shi Yan came to a distance of tens of meters in front of the green Shuzuo, and slashed down with the secret knife. I saw a huge blue chopping wave bursting out, like a falling star from the sky. Shisui had already noticed Xian's existence the moment she appeared, and looked at the huge flying chopping wave, not daring to underestimate her in the slightest. Holding the hilt of the spiral sword with both hands, he fought hard. Bang! In an instant, the world was shaken. The violent vigor crazily poured out. The spiral sword slashed at Xian's slashing waves. He couldn't blow it away directly, of course. Zanbo smashed his spiral sword and slashed at him. The spiral sword and the chopping wave seemed to be caught in a tug of war. Collide with each other. There was a stalemate for almost 3 seconds. Shisui relied on Susanoo's continuous supply of strength to disperse Xian's slash. Whose subordinate is this, so brave? This girl is so sassy. Mom, I'm in love. Can the way of the sword be so strong? You can't lose against Uchiha's Susan at all. Shi Yan and Shisui hit each other. Instantly became the focus of the entire battlefield. Everyone looked at her in amazement. She has such a strong strength. Sarutobi Taro still has a deep impression on Xian. After all, she is Moonlight Ryoma's older sister. He serves as Anbu's deputy minister. The people around Moonlight Ryoma have a certain understanding of third generation's confidant. It's just that he never knew Xian's strength was so strong before. For a while, his mood was quite complicated. He is happy that Xian can block Shisui and break the offensive of the Uchiha clan. On the one hand, because of Ryoma's relationship, I am worried about Shi Yan's strength. I remember her name seems to be Azuki Xian. Jonin, who was only promoted this year, did not expect that she would have such strength. It's really surprising. However, this is good. With her, Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi cannot form horns to cooperate with each other. In this way, with the superiority of our troops, the situation can be reversed soon. Lu Ju let out a long sigh of relief, and said happily. Yes, the patriarchs around Lu Ju also heaved a sigh of relief and said with a smile. Even Sarutobi had an unnatural smile on that. I'm not surprised that she is so strong. Only Hyuga Hiyashi was not surprised by Shi Yan's strength. After all, Xian is Ryoma's older sister. Even Ali can be favored by Ryoma. How could it be possible that Shi Yan, the older sister, did not receive Ryoma's favor? I didn't expect there to be a ninja like you in the village. What's your name? Tell me your name. Shisui looked at Azuki Xian solemnly. My name is Azuki Xian. Your Susan is very good, let's fight with me. Xian Yufeng floated in the void, and said to Shisui with fighting spirit. If you want to fight, then fight. Shisui didn't back down, and very haughty responded to Xian. After finishing speaking, Shisui acted directly, the first strike is the best. He held the sword in both hands and swung a blow at Shi Yan from a distance. Boom! A majestic sword soared into the sky. Blast towards Xian. Wind wound. Shi Yan quickly swung a sword. I saw 5 huge wind blades bursting out. The sword that Shisui swung was crushed and shredded like a bamboo. At their level, regular melee combat is almost useless. It is still more lethal to use the big move to bombard. It was, after breaking Shisui's sword pressure. Xian swung a sword casually again. Kamikaze slash. I saw a slender one than before, and a huge slashing wave burst out. 693, fell like a meteor. Slashed towards Shisui with great momentum. Shisui looked extremely serious, squeezing frantically extracts new chakra from the body, and pours it all into the eyes. Fortunately, one of Ryoma's incarnations used high-speed regeneration to restore Shisui and Itachi's physical condition when sending them back to the clan. Otherwise, it will be a big battle. Shisui couldn't bear it at all. After the green giant Susan had a lot of chakra supplements, it suddenly rose a few meters higher. The spiral sword in his hand is also more solid. Shisui repeated his old trick, holding the spiral sword in both hands, and facing the incoming chopping wave. Bang! This time the movement was even bigger than before. The surrounding ninjas had no choice but to retreat again and again, completely retreating to a safe distance. Spiral sword and slashing wave are still fighting. Shi Yan took a look at Shisui, and probably knew that her blow would be useless. Yes, start preparing for the next move directly. I saw her waving the long sword in her hand. Draw a circle. Konoha Kenjutsu Obscure Moon Night Change Unlimited Sword System. The original effect of this trick is just to create a phantom circle of swords when swiping in a circle, to confuse the enemy. Now, it was changed by Shi Yan. When waving a circle, it condensed circles of wind sword sharp blades. In less than a few seconds, the ninjas on the ground were shocked to find that the sky was full of wind swords, densely packed, and they emitted a faint blue light. In this dark night, it is extraordinarily charming. What's this? Sword, idiot. I know it looks like a sword, but can this densely packed thing still be called a sword? If it's densely packed, it can't be called a sword. You're so interesting. Don't you think these swords look beautiful? The more beautiful something is, the more dangerous it is. I don't know if Shisui can take this woman's attack. Otherwise, we will be finished. The ninjas of the Uchiha family were originally full of confidence in this battle. But after seeing Shien's terror, my heart began to shake faintly. Even began to fear defeat. Because they can imagine. What will Konoha's ninja do to Uchihas when they are defeated? The blood of the four major families is not yet dry. What have you done that you don't know yet? Can you still pray that others will treat them well? His eyes turned back to Shisui. At this time, Shisui shattered Shi Yan's chopping wave again, and it was the time when the old power was gone and the new power was not born. Shian swung the sword in her hand without hesitation. Long magic moon stars like rain, sweet song of the wind. Following Shi Yan's voice fell. In the sky, all the wind swords fell together. It is like a pear blossom in a rainstorm, and it is like falling stars. Extremely bright, extremely brilliant, magnificent and full of supreme murderous intent at the same time. On the ground, almost everyone was stunned. What a nice view. This kind of attack, Shisui can't stop it at all. If he can't stop us, Uchiha. Although the scenery is beautiful. But the people of the Uchiha clan seem to have fallen into an ice cellar. However, at this moment, a huge red figure quickly swept towards where Shisui was. Brother Shisui, fuse your Susa into mine. I will block this attack. This person is none other than Uchiha Itachi. As he spoke, he raised the Yata mirror and blocked it towards the sky. Okay, seeing this, Shisui manipulated the green Susan into Itachi's red Susan without any hesitation. The two Susans merged, and the whole process was very smooth, without encountering any obstacles or conflicts. After the fusion of the two Susans, it becomes a bigger yellow Susan. It is 50 meters tall, and although it is not a complete body, it is very deterrent. Plus, it's Shisui who's integrated into Itachi's Susanoo. Therefore, all the abilities of this Susan are based on Itachi's. After the red Yata mirror got the power of fusion, it instantly magnified 3 times, like a canopy, shining brilliantly. Bang! The sky-blowing sword shot down on the Yata mirror. It was like hailstones hitting the roof. Although it was smashed loudly. But it failed to smash through the roof. Prevent it. Seeing this scene, the people of the Uchiha clan were overjoyed. Stop it. Konoha army was also absent-minded for a while. They didn't expect that Shisui and Itachi would have such a great fusion with Sasu. Wow, they are cheating. It was obviously a one-on-one duel, but they actually created a fusion of Susanoo. There is no such thing. The surrounding ninjas watched and couldn't help yelling. A single Susan is already very difficult to deal with, and now they are fused together. It is simply unimaginable how powerful this Susan is. I don't know if this pretty girl can stand it. If even she can't stand it, we're probably going to be doomed this time. Don't say such unlucky words. Take a good look. This purple-haired princess will definitely defeat the evil Uchiha. Shi Yan looked at the huge Susan below, and then looked at the water and Itachi standing on Sasu's forehead in a diamond-shaped space. I didn't expect that your Susans could still fuse together. I really underestimated you. But, it's more interesting. Shien's mouth curled up slightly, and the fighting spirit in her heart became stronger. Azuki Shien, I admit that he is a terrifying powerhouse, but you are not our fusion opponent. Itachi said coldly. Very good, you have the confidence to say such a thing. I hope you wait a moment, you don't let me down. Shion heard the words, not only did not get angry, but even became more excited. When Itachi heard the words, he didn't talk nonsense, and directly drew out the 10-fist sword, suddenly go towards Shion. Shiyan looked at the flaming great sword, and faintly felt a threat from it. There was no head-on collision, but retreated quickly backwards. Keep away from the giant yellow Shuzuo fused with Itachi and Shisui. Start to gather the wind of nature. Get ready for a big one. However, at this moment, a voice reached her ears. Sister, it's almost ready, wait a minute, let me also be in the limelight. This is Ryoma's voice. Shion felt relieved. Ryoma, who used the wind to send his voice to my ears, he's back. Since he needs this opportunity to show off, let him. Thinking, Shion put away half of her strength, casually gathered a spear of wind, and shot at Itachi. Itachi set up the Yata mirror again. Shiyan's wind spear shot at Yata mirror, and was instantly ejected. Shoot towards a small hill not far away. There was a bang. The whole hill was shot 4 times on the spot and pierced a big hole. All the ninjas looked at this scene dumbfounded. At the same time, I also have a clearer understanding of the fusion of Itachi and Shisui. Even an attack that pierced through a small mountain can be easily blocked. It is conceivable that they are powerful. Afterwards, Shion made several moves in succession. Wind injury, kamikaze slash, crescent moon sky rush, wind spear, gale slash, etc. have all been used once. Unfortunately, these attacks, without exception, were all rebounded by Yata mirror. During this period, Itachi also shot several times, almost every time Shion had to back and dodge. This consecutive performance. Look in the eyes of those ninjas. They have only one thought. Shion is no match for Itachi and Shisui. For a time, many ninjas began to panic. Even Sarutobi Taro and Nara Shirju and others couldn't sit still. It's impossible to go on like this. We must find a way to break the deadlock. Sarutobi Taro looked at Nara and said. He couldn't think of any way by himself, so he could only rely on Luju for a long time. Luju pondered for a long time, and was about to speak. Suddenly, he felt a movement behind him. Everyone turned around and looked behind. It turned out that Kakashi came back with hundreds of people. Kakashi, didn't I ask you to help the master? Why did you bring him back? Where is the master? How is his condition? Tsuruhiro asked quickly. Seniors, I have sad news to tell you. Lord Third Generation and several elders have already died. Moreover, their bodies suffered extremely serious damage. The heads of Lord Third Generation and Danzo have disappeared. The corpses of Elder Kaharu and Elder Yan shattered to the ground. It took us a lot of effort to determine that it was their corpses. I left 30 ninjas there to collect the corpses for them, and I came back to tell you the news. Kakashi glanced at the people around him, Ten said with a heavy face. Speaking of this, Kakashi couldn't help recalling when they had just arrived near the Hokage building. See the dead body there. At that time, many ninjas cried together. Although he didn't cry, he felt extremely emotional. To kill is to kill. Why do you still treat the dead body like this? Kakashi's heart was full of anger. He desperately wanted to vent. Bang! Kakashi's remark rang like thunder in everyone's minds. Everyone was so shocked that they could not recover for a long time. Master Hiruzen, Sarutobi Taro couldn't hold back anymore, and burst into tears. Uncle Danzo, Aunt Kaharu, Uncle Yan. After hearing Kakashi's words, the members of the 4 major families broke down and burst into tears. Everyone didn't know what to do for a while. Just let them vent. Master Third Generation, you just died like this. It's unbelievable. Don't guess, the murderer must be Uchiha. Uchiha. However, in this way, we will have no leader. What should we do in the face of Uchiha, who is so powerful and starting a war? What else can I do? Just fight them directly. No, Uchiha is so strong. If we really can't resist, let's bow to Uchiha. This is also a way. Everyone has a big family behind them, so we can't easily fight Uchiha. That's right. Besides, Uchiha has so few people. It's impossible to completely control Konoha. They also need helpers. In that case, they won't be able to do anything to us again. It's true, although Uchiha is proud, but as long as we are willing to bow our heads, they will still accept us. When the people of the 4 major families were crying to death, the heads of the major families next to them also started to talk about it. They are all making their own calculations. Sarutobi Taro, who was crying to death, heard the conversation of these people. I broke out in a cold sweat from fright on the spot. The third generation died, and the hearts of the people on their side gradually dispersed. Every family began to make their own calculations. If you don't say anything, I'm afraid all this will really be irreparable. Shut up. Sarutobi immediately stood up and yelled at the arguing patriarchs. The group of patriarchs shut their mouths when they heard Sarutobi Taro's shouting. Although the third generation is dead, Sarutobi Taro, the deputy minister of Anbu, still has quite a deterrent effect on them. Sarutobi Taro saw that the group of patriarchs had shut up, so he looked at Hiyashi and Luju. One of them is the patriarch of the Hyuga clan, the strongest ninja clan under Uchiha, and the other is the leader of the Monkey Deer Butterfly and the squad leader of Jonin. They are the most important people in this group of patriarchs. As long as they can be persuaded, the situation can be stabilized. Chief Hiyashi, Patriarch Luju, you should have seen the fate of our 4 clans. You should also know Yutubao, right? Just imagine, if Uchiha really controls Konoha in the future, how do you think they will treat you ninjas? Especially the Hyuga clan. You have been trying to compete with Uchiha for the title of number 1 ninja in Konoha all these years. The conflict between you is not small at all. If Uchiha were in charge of Konoha, Chief Hiyashi, how do you think they would treat you Hyuga? Patriarch Luju, your power is not small, and the industries under your command are various. Tell me, will Uchiha be jealous? Sarutobi Taro said in a calm tone. Hiyashi and Luju were completely silent after hearing this. Sarutobi Taro's words hit their most worried place every sentence. I think the Hiyashi and Kaku clan chiefs also don't want to see the Uchiha clan completely control Konoha. Although the current situation is not good, we still have a chance to change everything. Chief Hiyashi, Chief Luku. We should not be like a mess of sand, each seeking his own plan. We should unite and completely suppress Uchiha. Sarutobi Taro solemnly said. Hiyashi and Luju looked at each other, and then at the surrounding patriarchs. Everyone nodded silently. In that case, let's fight. Luju said in a deep voice. First of all, we can't spread the news of third generation and high-level deaths. We can hide it for as long as possible. After all, this incident has a great blow to morale. Second, send a few more powerful ninjas to assist Shi and Jonin, and be sure to stalk Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi to death, and they must not be allowed to escape. Third, Deputy Minister Sarutobi, as the commander, you have a great impact on morale. I hope you can personally lead the army this time to attack Uchiha. This attack is the general attack. We not only want to take down the Uchiha people outside the Uchiha clan land, but also completely break through the Uchiha clan land. Take Uchiha down completely. After taking down Uchiha, we will turn around and help Shi and Jonin and others take down Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi. Luju told everyone about his battle plan. Everyone's hearts were agitated for a while. At this time, Luju added another sentence. Of course, the above-mentioned are all positive developments. If we fail in this attack, then we can only bow to Uchiha and run away. Everyone's expressions turned cold again. They all realized the seriousness of the matter. However, they never thought of backing down. After all, only when the major families advance and retreat together can they win together. At this time, if they get cold feet, then, no matter which side wins, those who back down will be cast aside. Clan Chief Shisui, Clan Chiefs, I promise you all, as long as someone stops Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi, I will be able to take down the Uchiha clan. I pledge my life, Sarutobi Taro said solemnly to Luju and others. He has no way out. Other families may also be able to bow their heads to the Uchiha family. However, unless the remnants of their 4 major families get rid of Uchiha, they will only have a dead end. So, who is going to assist Jonin? Hyuga Hiyashi said in a deep voice. Hiyashi's words silenced the scene. The difficulty of entanglement with the 50 or 60-meter tall Susan is not ordinary. Not everyone is capable of taking on this burden. Even if there is, they may not be willing to accept it. However, among a group of people with different thoughts, there are still some warriors. Count me in. Kakashi immediately raised his hand and said. That counts as me. Guy standing next to Kakashi said hastily. If that's the case, then count me in. Akamaiki Dingza said after hesitating for a while. Since we have Dingzuo, how can we lose me, Yamanaka Hayi? Count me in too, Yamanaka Hayi said. Dingzuo and Hayi both made choices, how could Inoshikacho miss me? Lu Ju glanced at Hayi and Dingzuo, and said lightly. If that's the case, then count me in. Seeing that Lu Ju had chosen this task, Hiyashi was unambiguous. Add me one more. At this time, Aburame Jawei said. Aburame Jawei finished speaking. The scene fell silent again. Is there any more? Sarutobi Taro asked. As a result, everyone was silent. If that's the case, then please 7 of you. Sarutobi Taro bowed to Kakashi, Guy, Dingzuo, Hayi, Lu Ju, Hiyashi, and Ji Wei. Hopefully we can win Uchiha this time. Lu Ju nodded to Sarutobi Taro. Uchiha must be taken. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.